One of the things I've learned over 10 years of running my own businesses is that what you have under the hood is as important as what you present to your customers. Like, of course, you need the great product, the catchy slogans, a nice website, all that good stuff. But taking orders, managing your inventory, billing customers, that's the business under the hood, the business behind your business. And for millions of businesses around the world, the business behind their businesses is Shopify. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. They're home of the #1 checkout on the planet, and that's why so many businesses work with them. And Shopify has the not-so-secret sauce, Shop Pay, which boosts sales conversions by up to 50%, which means way fewer carts are being abandoned at checkout and way more sales are going. If you want to grow your business, you better be ready to sell everywhere and anywhere your customers are. Scrolling social media, on your website, in your store, everywhere in between. It's no secret. Businesses that want to grow with Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Heinz and Mattel use. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/RTG, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/RTG to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/RTG. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Remember the Game. It is my retro gaming podcast where every week a buddy of mine and I sit down and we geek out about the games we played back in the day. My name is Adam Black. Thank you so much for listening to the show. And this week it is episode 336, and it is a big one, my friends. Much requested. Gears of War 2. Initially, I wanted to save this one for a milestone episode because, as I've said before, Gears of War is what brought me back to gaming all those years ago. I fucking love this series. If you don't know, we covered the original Gears of War back on Remember the Game 250. It's been about 2 years since we talked the series, and I've already got a plan for Remember the Game 350 in a few months, and I wasn't going to wait until episode 400 to do Gears again, so fuck a milestone episode. We're just going to do it right now. Plus, I'm hoping that we got a release date announcement for Gears of War E-Day at Summer Game Fest. I'm recording this on May 25th, so it hasn't happened yet. I'm hoping we got a release date, and I wanted to replay the first few Gears games before that one drops. I hope we found out that Gears of War E-Day is a holiday 2025 release. Putting that out to the universe, trying to make it happen. Anyways, Gears of War, awesome. I love the first game. Gears of War 2, like in my head, has always been my favorite, but I have not played this game in over a decade. So I was super excited to fire it up, replay through the campaign to get ready for this episode, and it was fucking incredible. It's aged like wine, even better than I remembered. Better story, better weapons, better gameplay, better combat, better everything than Gears of War 1. And Gears of War 1 is already pretty fucking special. As you're probably used to by now, I didn't play the multiplayer because I have no friends. So my knowledge and love of Gears of War 2 is exclusive to the campaign. But my guest this week is as popular in real life as he is at Remember the Game Industries. And that is the Dom to my Marcus, my buddy Tyler, he's more Baird. Tyler is he's more Baird than Dom. Anyways, I'm recording this intro before we record the game chat, so I don't know what he's going to say, but I'm assuming that he played the multiplayer quite a bit in Gears 2, and even if he didn't, the campaign of this game is more than capable of carrying a podcast on its own. I love this game. Considering breaking my Super Mario World rule for a perfect 10, I'm going to see. We'll see by the end. We are going to be talking spoilers. You've been warned. And I hope this episode does this game justice because Gears of War 2 is a damned masterpiece. And we'll get to all that in just a minute because speaking of being a damned masterpiece, it's time for another edition of the Remember the Game infamous intro. Dun, 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 dun! And if you're new to the podcast, welcome aboard and consider this your warning. Our intros are a little long. They're not that long. They're a little long, but they're fun. We talk video games and stuff, and you don't have to fight your way through a giant worm's asshole to get past them. Really. It's might be the best plug for the infamous intro I've ever done. Quick note, they are ad-free on Patreon with timestamps, so if you're a Patreon now, you can just skip by them. and go to whatever segment you want because la. Otherwise, go to about the 30-minute mark. It should be into Gears of War 2 talk. All of our I got to do my plugs. Let me keep my bills on, okay? All of our merch is designed by my man Joe for 4545 Creative. You can find it all at rememberthegamepodcast.com if you want to. Great way to support the show. And of course, the lifeblood of this show is our Patreon. We publish up to 4 extra shows every week. There are no ads in any of them. You can listen to them for as little as $3 a month. You can also write into the podcast, vote on the games we cover, join our 1,000+ member Discord. You get instant access to the entire archive bonus episode library, discounts on merchandise, and most importantly, you get a shout out and get to hear me mispronounce your name like I would be doing to our newest patrons if I was home. But I'm recording this one about 2 weeks before 2 weeks? Yeah, about 2 weeks before it goes live. So if you have signed up for the Patreon since the end of May and haven't gotten your shout out yet, I apologize. I'm pre-recording while I'm on holidays. I will give you yours when I get back and do my next real episode that's live or whatever the fuck, right? But thank you for the support and welcome to Remember the Game Industries, patreon.com/rememberthegame. Don't forget, we donate 5% of it to charity. There's some freebies over there you can check out on the house, and we offer annual subs that'll save you your 12th month's fees, all right? That's enough blowing myself. Let's blow some of you by blowing in some cartridges. It is our opening segment here on the show. I read a few comments and questions from our Patreons, usually gaming related, but not always, and we call this segment Blowing in the Cartridge.
He blows all right. He blows big time.
That's it, honey. Get into the spirit.
Let's blow. Our first blower this week is Oscar Peltier, who said, "Hey, Adam, I just wanted to say I lost my dog recently, and your rambling idiot episode about Molly really helped me out. Thank you, brother." Oscar, I am so sorry to hear that, my man. Losing a dog is, it's funny. I don't listen to my own podcasts because that is like pulling your fucking fingernails out with a pair of tweezers. It's terrible. But I will say, I have listened to the Molly episode a few times. No joke. I actually listened to the Molly episode last night. I was sitting outside on my deck looking at the stars, and I listen to that one sometimes because it's been 5 months, almost 6 months since we put the CEO down, and I still miss that dog. God, I miss that dog. We are talking about getting another one, but not soon. Maybe this holiday. We'll see. I'm working on a Molly tattoo right now. I'm looking at her right now. She's on my forearm, looking at me all the time. I miss my pup. Sorry for your loss, Oscar. Everybody out there with a pet, doesn't matter if it's a dog, a cat, a bird, a rabbit. I don't know if you hug snakes, but hug your pet. Love them, okay? Love them. Johnny from Virginia says, "Hey, Adam, enjoy your holidays, my man. Thank you. So I've recently been going into a recycled cycle of gaming, even while currently playing something new and looking at the back catalog from hell. Here I am firing up older games that I'm familiar with. Comfort food during trying times. What causes it? Do you do this yourself? And what games do you find yourself replaying no matter how many times you've beaten them?" I do that. I've got a few, I don't go back to old games quite as often as I used to, because I'm always trying to play something new for the podcast, and I'm always trying to bang out I'm trying to play an old game that I have not played or haven't played in forever for Remember the Game, and then I'm usually trying to play something new as well. But my comfort food game, Super Punch-Out and Super Mario World, are probably my two biggest comfort food games because I just know them so well. I can hop in, I can beat them in, Super Punch-Out I could beat in 25 minutes. Super Mario World I could beat in a couple hours. Those are comfort food for me as well. The NES Mario trilogy is up there, and old Mega Man, particularly Mega Man 2 and Mega Man X, are up there for me as well. Games that, even though I know I shouldn't be wasting my time going back and replaying them for the 3 trillionth run, I just go to them when I need to shut my brain off for a little while. Those are the ones. And then Minecraft. I don't think I'm ever going to go full-blown I can't stop playing Minecraft again, but I do find myself slipping back into the Minecraft waters ever since I saw the movie. That's relaxing as fuck, man. Minecraft is good fucking times. McCracken said, "Have you heard of Pixel Play for retro gaming? I'm wondering if it's worth it or just crap." Now, when I wrote these notes, I wrote all the intros a month ago, or a week ago, excuse me. So I did know what it was then, but now I don't remember. So I haven't heard of them. But isn't this one of those plug and play things that you can buy that's just got a ton of old games on it? Yeah, so it's basically a USB drive you plug in, and it comes with a knockoff PlayStation controller, and it's just full of a ton of old ROMs, and you can play them and stuff like that. I can't sit here and say that they are in fact crap or not, McCracken. I will say personally, I know some of you are going to be like, "Oh, here comes high and mighty fucking Reverend Blake over here." But I'm not a huge fan of them because I do feel like it's stealing. Listen, I download old games and I emulate old games and stuff all the time as well. but I download them if I can't buy them from the source. If you're buying this thing, there are games on there you could be buying from some rights holders. Plus, as far as I know, the emulation quality is just garbage and they don't play all that well. And I've heard some of them are pretty unreliable, but I can't sit here and say definitively whether I've played it or not. I just know there's been like 3,000 of these fucking things. And then there's one that blows up for a little while and you see all the ads on social media until one of the rights holders goes after them and gets it taken down and then they just rebrand it, fucking drop it again. So I'm not going to say it's just crap, but my understanding is that emulation can be done a lot better with very minimal tinkering under the hood on your own than it is to fuck around with one of these things. But I can't say for certain. I wouldn't buy one, personally. David Phillips says, what is the most exciting thing you have ever done for or with Remember the Game? Is it kind of sad that in the 7 years I'm like, have I done anything? You know what? The two things I'll say, other than like the obvious of, being able to make this my job, which is fucking insanely cool. I will say Xbox reached out to us and made us one of their like Xbox Canada good positive gamers or whatever, and they sent me a free Series X back when they were hard to get. I actually gave it to my nieces and nephews for Christmas, but that was really cool. Or else it would be the Toronto show. When we did the Toronto show last summer, and I got to meet so many, like, people travel from around the world to come to that show and meet me and Mark, and we signed some stuff, and that was really fucking cool as well. I would say those are probably the two coolest things. I will also say I've gotten a lot of postcards from listeners around the world, and I keep them all, and I keep everything you guys send me, but the postcards are why I set up the P.O. box. That's always a trip to me. Doesn't matter if you're in like Calgary or if you're in like fucking Australia. To get postcards from strangers around the world that are like, hey man, I like listening to you talk about old video games. I don't know. Maybe I'm just sucking my own dick a little bit, but that's really fucking cool too. I would say those are probably the big three. Yeah. Growlywog said, hey buddy, lately I've been playing a lot of fitness boxing for the Switch and it's helped me drop near 30 lbs. Good for you, Growly. 30 pounds. Wish I could fucking drop 30 pounds. That's huge. It's basically like DDR, and I know I could drop 30 pounds. Don't come at me with that. Growly says it's basically like Dance Dance Revolution or Guitar Hero. You're just throwing different punches or dodges to the beat, and I'm finding it to be a lot of fun. I tried playing Ring Fit Adventure, but it's too much bouncing for my bum knee. I'm wondering if you or the community have any favorite fitness-themed games. I'm reading this one to put it out to the community, particularly if you're in the Discord. Hit up the old Remember the Game channel in there. Drop your fitness-based games. Have I played? I fucked around with Wii Fit a little bit when it came out, like everybody did. And then I played some Wii Sports. But other than that, like, I haven't played Ring Fit Adventure. I haven't played Dance Dance Revolution because I'm an uncoordinated swine. I can't think of anything else I've really played that's fitness themed. Not that I'd be opposed. I actually was interested in, holy fuck, a big bee just flew against my window. That scared the shit out of me. You can't get in here. I'm terrified of bees. Look at that fat heifer. You can't get in here. Fuck off. Go find a tree to fuck. Get out of here. It's creeping me out. It's like he's fucking looking at me through the window. I hate it. Fuck, I hate bees. Anyways, to get back to your question, yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to Ring Fit Adventure. That one kind of interested me, but I can't think of a fitness video game that I've personally spent any time with. So yeah, leave some suggestions in the Discord. Let's all get together and drop some weight like Growly has. Congrats, Growly. Well done. Smith says, good day, Mr. Blank. You've discussed recently that you're thinking about getting back into Twitch streaming. I really hope you ultimately decide to give it another shot. I always enjoyed hopping in and watching a Battletoads run or when you were working on a game for the podcast. Growing up, there were plenty of times where I enjoyed hanging with a friend while they grinded or got good and I rooted them on. I found that our streams had a similar feeling, so I look forward to the day when you give it another shot. Don't let the haters steal your joy. I hope your vacation is a blast. Thanks as always for all the great content. Appreciate it, Smith. I get asked that a lot. I know people are still signing up for our Twitch. Like, I still see the notifications that people are following me over on Twitch. I haven't been live on there in a few months now. I love the concept of streaming on Twitch. My problem is that I get so flustered by trying to read the chat while playing, and I know to just let the chat go. And I'm like, when you have a break in the game, look at the chat. When you don't, just talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. But I feel the like obligation to try to reply to everybody that's chatting, and then I get too flustered by that, and then I get flustered by the game, and then I get angry, and then I log off the stream, and I just feel like a piece of shit for getting angry at the game, but I didn't want to get angry. And admittedly, I'm embarrassed by how rage-filled I get at some old games, which are what I like to stream. And I feel bad when I get off stream and I've just gotten angry. Plus the backseat gaming drives me crazy. If you're ever in my streams, please do not backseat game. oh my God, it just makes me not want to play anything. I hate backseat gaming. So just like watch me suck, but don't tell me what to do. So I am thinking about trying to get back on there a little bit this summer once I get back from holidays. Your best bet, if you want, you can follow me on Twitch, Remember the Game, or follow me on Twitter or Instagram, Remember the Game, or find Remember the Game on Facebook. I post on them whenever I go live. That's probably your best bets. Or youtube.com/Remember the Game, because I was cross-streaming over there as well. So I'm going to try to get back on. I'd like to do more of it this summer. I just need to learn how to fucking calm my tits and stay chill while I'm playing. And my tits are angry, so that's, we'll see. But I appreciate that, Smith. And finally, before we move on, it's letter time. It's letter time. Devil's Cry 007 said, have a great vacation, King Dingaling. I'm sure the place will still be here when you get back. Probably. But since you're here, times are tough. Play one, remake one, and erase one. Get serious with instead of games, but game companies. Capcom, EA, and Square Enix. And if a company goes, so do all of their games ever. Have fun. So we did one of these. I just did an expansion pass where I let the listeners submit play one, remake one, erase ones. And I answered a bunch of them. And someone did submit one of these where they were like, pick a company. One company will be erased forever, like with all their games. One you can remake, and then one you can just play as they exist. And they went EA, Sega, and Ubisoft. And I played Sega. I can't remember if I played Sega and remade EA and made them less greasy. I think that's what I did. I think that's what I did. Or I played EA and remade Sega and brought them back to the console world. But I'm pretty sure I played Sega and remade EA to make them less greasy. And then I wiped out Ubisoft, because outside of a couple of South Park games, I could live without Ubisoft. But now this one's tougher because I have more connections to these companies. Capcom, EA, and Square Enix. And whichever one I erase, I lose all of their games ever. Which of those I think it's got to be EA. I got to erase EA. And I know that's racing a lot of fucking games if we're including everything they've published. But Capcom's got Resident Evil and Mega Man, so that's not going to fucking happen. And happen. And while I may not be the world's biggest RPG fan, there's some Final Fantasies that are near and dear to my heart. So I'm not dumping those. So EA, very reluctantly, is going to be erased forever. And all their games have to go as well. So that leaves Capcom and Square Enix. I'm gonna play Square Enix as it is, because while I don't love a lot of their newest Final Fantasy games, like I still have like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's all I really need. I still have those. I can play those forever. And then they've got other games I know as well. But I have those, so that's fine. And then I'll remake Capcom, and I'll just make them start making fucking Mega Mans again. Listen, I'm happy. I'm not a Monster Hunter hater. I'm happy that Monster Hunter is doing so well and printing money for Capcom. I really am. That's great. I love Resident Evil, and I know Resident Evil 9 is in the works, and I hope it's not Resident Evil 6. I got it, dude. Hot take, maybe. But in the first two Resident Evil trilogies, the third one is so far and away the weakest. Resident Evil 3 isn't terrible, but it can't hold a candle to Resident Evil 1 and 2. And Resident Evil 6 is an abomination. Whereas 4 and 5, I thought 4 is one of the greatest games ever. And 5 was good, but 6 was shit. 7 was great. 8 was really good. I'm hoping that 9 delivers the goods. But with Monster Hunter printing money and Resident Evil doing what it does and all that, they got Street Fighter over there. I feel like Mega Man is the cousin Oliver of Square Enix, or of Capcom now. So I would remake Capcom and just make them start showing Mega Man some fucking love again. So play Square Enix, remake Capcom, erase EA. Thank you, Devil's Cry 007, and everybody that wrote in this week. As always, I appreciate you. We got to keep the ball rolling, so let's switch things up and get to our smash hit, the official game show of Remember the Game Industries. Play one, remake one, erase one. And a huge thank you to Classic Concentration from the NES for unknowingly providing us with the theme music for the show. The rules are simple. Every week, I give our Patreons 3 retro video games. They can play one as it was released, remake one as a modern game, and the third is erased from time forever. And as always, there are no wrong answers, but there is a right one. We'll get there in just a minute. This week, we're talking Gears of War 2, one of the biggest games in the history of the Xbox 360. So I went with 3 more big games in the history of Xbox 360. And I almost put Halo 3 in here, but I was worried it would dominate too much, so I left it out, and I fucking nailed it. This was a close one. I did good. We got Fable 2, Forza Horizon, and Lost Odyssey. And 2% was the difference between the winner and the runner-up. So the runner-up was play Lost Odyssey, remake Fable, and erase Forza. And the winner was play Fable, remake Lost Odyssey, and erase Forza. I thought Forza was going to catch some strays, and it did. I have not played any of these games. So let me see what a few of you had to say here, and then I'll tell you what the right answer was. This one was a little bit tricky for me. Oh my God, Tremopoline said, easy. Play Fable 2 because it's still always a fun little gem to go back to. I'm currently doing a playthrough right now. Remake Lost Odyssey. I played it a handful of times after renting it from a local video store back in the day, and I enjoyed it, but I could never actually find a copy to buy, so a remake would re-release it for me to be a way for me to get my hands on it. And then erase Forza. We have enough racing games, and my hot take here is 90% of them are copy and paste of each other, so that's an easy one for me. I really thought that we'd have more people in here sticking up for Forza, but Forza is catching a lot of heat this week. It is. Which I guess I should have saw coming. Doug Dorn said, I'm going to play Fable because I never have and I'm semi-intrigued. I'll remake Forza Horizon because as a PlayStation lifer, I just bought Forza Horizon 5 and I'm really enjoying it. So I'll take the first one remade in that engine. Thank you very much. And then I'll erase Lost Odyssey. To be honest, I've never heard of it and couldn't be bothered to Google it, so it clearly isn't affecting my life by not existing. The classic, I'm too lazy to Google the game. We've all been there. I love it. That's like couldn't be bothered to look it up. That's fair. But if you like racing games and you're into RPGs, then of course, like if you want to play Fable, like Lost Odyssey is the oddball. I get it. David Dryden said, play Lost Odyssey. I haven't played it and I don't want to delete a game I haven't played. That's how it's done. Remake Fable 2. Loved it. Update the graphics some and it should be better. Erase Forza. I don't like normal racing games. They can all go away. You know what? Listen, I'm not a huge racing game guy either outside of kart racers, but I do have to say the 2 or 3 I've played for the show, which is what? Need for Speed, Most Wanted. Was it a Takedown that I played? The few I have played, I actually have quite enjoyed. They've been fun for what they are. Cone Bread, greasy but wholesome, said play 1, remake 1, erase 1 is on easy mode today. Erase Forza Horizon out of existence, or matter of fact, out of the multiverse because, boy, that game is boring. Remake Lost Odyssey because I love the music and the characters in that game. I wouldn't mind one bit being in that world with updated graphics. At the very least, I want to see that crazy opening battlefield sequence remade. It is one of the best openings in a video game ever. And then play Fable 2 because I would rather have slept on underrated Lost Odyssey. I see. Because I thought you meant it as I would rather have slept on Lost Odyssey. But you mean I would rather have slept on underrated Lost Odyssey, take the remake slot over Fable 2, especially when Fable 4 is on the horizon. Also, I can pet a dog and kick chickens in Fable 2. In Forza, you cannot. And who doesn't love a game where you can kick chickens? No, don't kick animals. Ever. If you are going to kick one, kick a fucking bee. Those creepy bastards. And Wyatt the Surgeon, who's not a Surgeon Row, said, this is easy. Play Forza, as I have so much love for it, as I was bedridden for about 2 weeks during its release. Remake Fable 2, because god damn it, I want it. I want it bad. And then erase Check's Hand, Lost, Odd, and C? What is this? I don't want it. Anybody want it? I get it. No one's erasing Fable. Did any of you say erase Fable? Am I crazy? Erase. That's wild. Anyway, 8% of you did because you voted the way I did, as did Jeff Leopard, who said, you can play Forza as it is. It's a good racing game. In my humble opinion, Lost Odyssey is a gem of a turn-based RPG from the 360 era. The ring-based battle system is so cool and fun. The story rules. The characters are cool. Please remake it. And then erase Fable 2. They made several of them. Not the same reasoning, but I agree with Jeff Leopard. That's the order I would do. I'm going to play Forza. I've never played a Forza game, ever. And now that I've kind of had a little bit of fun with a couple of racing games, I might as well start at the beginning. Because once I play a future one, I'm not going to want to go back to the OG. So I'll play Forza, see what it's all about. I'm going to remake Lost Odyssey simply because, while I haven't played it, I'm sure there's stuff in there I won't like because it's an RPG. So make the options to turn off anything I don't like. And then I'm going to erase Fable 2 because I did play Fable 1 and I thought it was very mid. So I feel like Fable 2 Fable 1 was forgettable. So presumably Fable 2 would be the same. And before you write it and yell at me, I haven't played any of these. So I don't know. Maybe Fable 2 is like the greatest game ever made, but it lives in the shadow of its older brother, and its older brother, other side of being able to walk around and fart, really didn't do anything for me. All right. Thank you, everybody that wrote in to play along. As always, I appreciate it. Normally, this is where I tell you what I've been playing over the last week, but I'm away on holidays and have no fucking idea what I've been playing. So I'll tell you when I get back. God damn it, my voice. I've done so many shows this week to get ready for holidays. My voice is just fucked. Shaylee's going to be going on this fucking trip with like, hey, Shaylee. That's going to be fucking, fuck. I'm going to stop. I'm going to drink some water. We'll let an ad play. Hopefully my voice didn't squeak in the ad if I had to read one. And when we get back, it's all about Gears 2, okay? We'll be right back after this. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Did you know that over 6 million men in the US suffer from depression each year? And a lot of the time that goes undiagnosed. So many guys are raised in that macho, keep it in, tough it out environment. And even with all the advances in the advocacy for mental health, it's still not easy to open up as a man and talk about what's bothering you. I know firsthand, and I'm not even that manly of a man. It's okay to struggle, guys. It's okay to ask for help. And talking to someone won't just help you look after you, but it'll help you look after the people you care about as well. So talk to someone, a loved one, a friend, or a therapist. I'll keep beating the therapy drum because I know firsthand how much it helps. Whether it's getting something off your chest or coming up with a plan to tackle the next chapter in your life, therapy is such an invaluable resource. If you're thinking about trying therapy, look into BetterHelp. You can meet with one of BetterHelp's over 35,000 licensed therapists online when and how it works best for you. They serve over 5 million people around the world, and they make therapy as affordable and convenient as possible. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of expertise. Talk it out with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/rememberthegame. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/rememberthegame. All right, let's talk Gears 2. I know you're all excited. I know I'm excited. We had so many comments on this one. It was through the roof. People fucking love this game, and with good cause, because it's spectacular. So I'm going to read more comments than I normally do because I didn't have to waste any time talking about what I've been playing. Let's rip through a bunch of these. Sheerdo94 said the greatest game and one of the greatest trilogies of all time. Along with Halo 3 and Call of Duty 4, this game defined what I consider to be the golden era of gaming in the mid to late 2000s. My friends and I spent countless hours playing the multiplayer, the campaign, and especially Horde mode, which were all amazing. I look forward to the inevitable remake or remaster of this game when the first one is released, and hopefully we can relive some of the magic we experienced when it first came out. Yeah, if you don't know, Gears 1 is being remastered and ported to PlayStation and everything soon. And you got to think, because it's going to sell well. I can't fathom it not selling well. And then once it does, you know they're going to do the same with Gears 2. There's no way. There's no fucking way they don't. No fucking way. Duke Skywalker said, this brings on intense levels of nostalgia for when Xbox was competitive and had a proper crack off Sony for a whole console generation. The difference in the strategy conversations at leadership level between then and now must be night and day. You're not wrong. I can't imagine there's too many people that are listening to this that are so young you don't remember the Xbox 360. But if you are, gather around the lemon tree, children. There was a time where Xbox was like, they were beating, like the PS3 beat the 360 in the end, but they were beating PlayStation at one point. It was the only time in 4 generations that they were like winning. The 360 was so far and away the fucking, the high end of Xbox so far. I pray that they get back there someday. It'd be so good for gaming if they did. NBT Live 1979 said one of the best games on one of the best systems. The hype behind this game was only second to Halo 2. This is the game that I would show non-gamers to show off what next generation games could be. In my opinion, the best of the series. I agree with that. And I haven't played Gears 3 in almost as long as I haven't played Gears 2. But in my mind, I do like Gears 3. I don't remember liking it as much as Gears 2. Like, this replay just reaffirmed to me that, like, oh yeah, there's a reason this is on your favorite games of all time list. I agree. 100%. Best of the series. Lighty's World said, easily my favorite story in the classic trilogy. From Dom's shocking loss to Cole's triumph on the mic to the terror of the Cantus to the final battle with Scourge. There's too much to love, and I'm all for it. And again, reminder, we're spoiling shit. It's coming. So, sorry if you don't like it, but it's got to happen. Justin Autry said, Gears of War 2 is my favorite campaign of all time, solely due to the fact that you get to travel inside a giant riftworm. Gaming campaigns really peaked with that, and it's all been downhill from there. Dude, this campaign is fire. I know I'm spoiling what Tyler and I are about to talk about. We haven't actually recorded yet, but I'm telling you this is what we're going to talk about. Like Gears 1 sets a great template for what the series is going to be with the cover system and the combat and the grenades into the holes and shit like that. But Gears 2 takes that system and just drops it into so many different scenarios where it works, but none of them feel the same. It really is one of the best campaigns of all time. I agree. You son of a bitch, why? Tell me why. Said, I'm so pumped you're reviewing this. When this game came out, I took a job out of state and had to move away from all my friends. We would get together once a week on Xbox Live and play Horde mode in Gears 2, and it became a real lifeline for me and my friends. This game was truly a masterpiece, and Myria reveal in this. Okay, the Maria reveal in the story still haunts my dreams. I'm not quite sure how you were trying to say that. Son of a bitch, why? Tell me why. And but yes, that's dude. I forgot about that. And when that part comes up in the game, I was like, that's creepy as fuck. I agree. And Terror of Rebirth says Gears 2 is my all-time favorite of the whole franchise. I spend more time playing that one over any other game in the series. There are even times I'd pull up a video of the Prescott speech just for old time's sake. It's a fucking masterpiece, guys. I'm really torn on if I'm gonna break my Super Mario World rule again because I don't do it a ton, but I don't want to do it too often. But I'm telling you right now, whether this one gets the perfect score or not, it's knocking on the door. It is not out of the question. I'll decide after Tyler and I talk, and you're going to hear that talk right now, assuming Tyler and I made it work. I'm going to cue up some Gears of War 2 music. And when it stops, Tyler and I are talking Gears 2, which originally released on the Xbox 360 on November 7th of 2008. Enjoy the podcast, everybody. Let's go. All right, joining me via the blank phone on a fucking goddamn stormy Monday night. In case the second tornado comes to Edmonton and finishes us all off right now, it's to be a pleasure to go out talking Gears of War 2 with the Dom to my Marcus, my boy Tyler. I thought about calling you Baird because you're kind of Bairdy, but you're loyal like Dom.
We all wish we were all Coltrane, though.
Of course, but none of us are. It
None
takes
of
a
us
special
are.
person to be. You know what, though? You know what's cool? I already mentioned in the intro we're going to be doing some spoilers. I'm going to try not to spoil like Gears 4, Gears 5 in this one. But I will say that like Baird becomes less of a douche as the series goes on. And even when he is a douche, I kind of like Baird. I like
Yeah.
every group needs a douche.
Absolutely.
So.
He's an asshole, but he's our asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Marcus, Dom, and like Cole's obviously everybody loves Cole, and Marcus is like the fearless leader as he has to be, and Dom is the I'll run through glass for you sidekick as he has to be.
Yeah.
All considering the entire planet is going to shit. Frankly, I think the three of them, especially considering what Dom goes through in Gears 2, the three of them are a little too positive. And Baird keeps things real. Every time something goes wrong, Baird is like, well, this fucking sucks. And they're always just like, shut up, Baird. Like, I'm a Baird guy. All four of them. I genuinely love all four of those guys. And I'm so happy that they're back. All four of them are together. The Rat Pack's together again. And you and I are talking Gears 2. We talked Gears 1 about 2 years ago. Now it's time for Gears 2. I just replayed this campaign for the first time, and it's got to be over 10 years. And it is literally better than I remember it being. And I thought it was pretty good. It is better than I remember it being. People have been messaging me for 2 weeks being like, you better break your perfect score rule on this one and give it a perfect score. I'm telling you all right now, I'll decide in the next hour or so when we record this, but it's in the conversation. I'm thinking about it because Gears 2, Tyler, is, oh, God, it's good. It's so fucking good.
Don't worry, everyone. I'm going to convince him that it gets a perfect score because this is the perfect game. It's the Return of the Jedi. It's the best. It's so fucking good.
You're kind of right. You're kind of right. Yeah.
I can't even like articulate. Just before we started recording, I was telling you that this is the peak of my gaming experience in my life. Like when I was playing it, I was working a seasonal job, so I was on my layoff. My foreman and my buddy Kyle, shout out to Kyle Capty, he was also laid off, and we kept on waking up like we weren't laid off, and we were playing Gears of War 2 like it was our job until our families checked in on us at like 7 or 8 at night to make sure we were breathing and had eaten that day. We were playing Gears from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. Like, this was the game.
And you know what's I will, because when you think of Xbox, I mean, I'll hear the argument for Forza, but by and large, when you think of Xbox, you think Halo and you think Gears. Like that is Xbox's Mario and Zelda, right? Like it's their two biggest IPs. And I don't know if it's just because I wasn't as like I was literally working with you at TextCam when Halo 2 dropped. And I remember our entire warehouse like the next morning was in and everyone was like, dude, how far did you get in Halo? Like everyone was playing it. I don't remember talking about Gears 2 as much with my friends, but that was later on in life, Xbox 360, and not as many of my friends were gamers as it was back in the Halo 2 era. So
Yeah.
I don't remember the hype around Gears 2 being quite as big as Halo 2,
Well,
but
and like to put it in context, in this warehouse, two brothers that worked with us were donned with the nickname Sega and Nintendo. So like
yeah, yeah.
it was
Oh,
a
hey,
gaming nerd warehouse.
sorry,
And
on that note, I was working the Calgary Expo a few weeks ago and Sega came by the booth.
oh hell yeah.
Beauty.
Solid,
Fucking
solid.
shout out to Sega. Good fucking guy. Yeah. Sorry, continue. I just wanted to shout out Sega.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 10 out of 10 would
Yeah,
do again.
good guy.
Um and like for Nintendo's bachelor party, we got Xboxes together and played Halo 2. We had like multiple TVs and played a LAN party Halo 2. Like
That's right.
that was the peak at that time.
So
And you and I did the Halo 2 podcast.
the night before Nintendo's wedding, we took him to that bar downtown, and everyone convinced him to shave his eyebrows. I wasn't there. I wasn't there.
Oh my god.
I wasn't there. I'm gonna have to edit the mic and bring us down to that. I wasn't there, but I was there, but I left before they made him shave his eyebrows. But he went
Yeah.
to his wedding with shaved eyebrows, and his
Oh my
wife
god.
was pissed.
Pissed. Oh my
But
god, I had forgotten about that. That's
good
so
time.
good.
They're good. He was my first roommate. That was the first time I moved out of my house. I lived with Nintendo.
Oh,
Those guys
nice.
are gems.
Solid guy.
Anyway,
Yeah.
good
He
guy.
was
So
one of my
yeah,
besties in high school.
so the point is, yeah, like I don't remember the hype around Gears 2 being quite as high as Halo 2, but I do remember being hella stoked for Gears 2 after playing the original Gears, which, as I've said on the show many times, is the game that kind of brought me back to gaming after I kind of stopped gaming for a little while. Gears was what brought me back. And dude, replaying the campaign of Gears 2, like Gears 1 is a great fucking game, tells a good story. I think as far as the gameplay of the original Gears go, its primary focus was establishing that cover-based combat system,
Yeah,
right?
because they put a lot of effort in that. Like, what's the guy who was the main developer on Gears?
Yeah, I
Chris
can't
something.
remember his fucking name either, but I know who you're talking about though. The guy that, because he said he like drew inspiration from paintball and stuff for like coming
Paintball
up with the
and
system.
like NFL. Like he was uh really into a lot of things that he integrated in the games. And he like in interviews said, yeah, like our main focus wasn't like, the story was a focus, but our main focus was having fluid Cliff Blazinski. Uh main focus was like having really fluid movement, having this cover to cover system. Like they put a lot of time and energy. It wasn't just like, yeah, first person shooter, whatever, blah 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 story. It was like we want to redefine the wheel and we want it to move in 360 degrees. We want it to
100%.
be so fluid.
And
And
they
like
did, frankly, to
and
their
they did
credit.
like
Like,
so the
yeah.
new Gears games hasn't really changed how it plays. Like you're not like Halo 5 or Halo Infinite or whatever, the latest Halo.
Yeah,
They have
Infinite,
a
yeah.
grappling hook, they have a little sprint, like they've added and changed how you move. It's not the original Halo in how the Master Chief feels and moves. They've added a whole bunch to make it more contemporary. They haven't had to do that for Gears. Gears is movement and play style, the cover to cover, it's like ironclad.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, so Gears 1 again, like you could go back and listen to that episode. I've praised the shit out of that game. Tyler praised the shit out of the game. We love that game. The combat is very cover based. You're shooting at the enemies. And then they came up with this great world. The idea that these enemies live underground below us. They've been there the whole time. Now they're coming up to take over the world. You throw the grenades into the holes to stop them. Like it's a really great system. And I gotta say, I never got bored of the combat in Gears 1. And then I started playing Gears 2. And it starts out, it turns out the world is gone to shit. Because at the beginning of Gears 1, we set up the bomb, we tried to blow them up. It's not working. Now they're coming, and now we're losing, and we're trying to come up with like a plan to stop them. And you know what I really realized as I was playing through Gears 2, I have notes on my phone as I played through it, like all the different chapters. I think what makes this campaign really fucking incredible is the fact that they kept the same combat system. Hide behind whatever you can hide behind. Shoot the enemies. We're gonna send swarms of enemies after you. You get the active time reloads. All that stuff is there. But dude, the fucking variety of ways that they throw that combat at you in Gears 2 is borderline mind blowing. It's like now you're on a fucking boat in the middle of a fucking water underground. Now you're in the air riding one of these fucking things. Now you're in a Brumac. Now you're in a city in buildings that are fucking falling down. Now you're up in the winter in the Antarctic. Now you're in this fucking crazy ass factory where they're operating on people and making creatures and shit like that. Like I'm floored that I swear to fuck, they sat around and they were like, we can't just, because as much as I adore Gears 1, it's a lot of the same. They do a great job of balancing the combat with the story, but it is
Yeah.
a lot of the same. Go to a new area, fight another swarm of enemies, have some more story. And it felt
Yeah.
like they were like, we don't want to do that in Gears 2. How many different scenarios can we come up with to drop the player into the same combat in different fucking scenarios? And it never gets old. You fucking go into the giant worm and cut its heart open. Like, it's
That's so
crazy, all the
badass.
different
So badass.
storylines. I played through it in like 3 days and never once got bored ever. It's so, and it, oh God, it's fucking Gears 2, Tyler.
Oh,
Jesus
it's so good.
Christ.
And like you're ambushing, you're being ambushed, you're just constantly in action. I think I might be mixing this up with another game, but I think Halo did this too. But I think they follow the 2 minute rule where like there is never any more of a lull than 2 minutes at a time. Like you're always constantly progressing and having some kind of action happen. You're
It's
never at a
true.
lull
Yeah.
point. And like I can't get over how much fun this game was, how
Oh,
great the campaign was. And like you
and,
said, they just upped the ante.
and
I
if I
would I
could, go ahead.
I
No,
would
go ahead.
I would have
Because I'm just
loved
going
to
to jerk
sit.
off. Go ahead.
Okay, do it. I would have I would
No,
have
it's
loved
coming.
to
It's coming.
I would have loved to have been sitting in the dev like conference room where they had Red Bull, Monster, and Rockstar on tap in a drink, and they were like, "All right, everybody has to take a sip of this concoction so that we can come up with some badass levels and figure out what we're gonna do." And that's how like I'm none of this is true, but that is absolutely how they came up with every level and every bit of this game because they just keep going more and more epic.
It's wild. And like at the end of the game, when you beat it, when the credits are rolling, you have the credits going across the screen, but then at the bottom, they're showing two developers at a time, and it's actually showing like their pictures with their names,
Mhm.
and then like you'd put like a quote in, like a high school yearbook. And I don't know if I've ever seen that in a game where they were like showing off like the lead developers and letting them put a quote in there, like, thanks to my family, hope the gamers enjoy this, stuff like that. And I'm sitting there watching these credits roll right after I finished Halo Gears 2, and I'm thinking to myself, and maybe I'm overthinking this, but I'm thinking to myself, they fucking knew that they hit a home run. They were like, you know what, everybody? There is, like, I wonder, I've never developed a video game, but I have to think there are certain games where the developers just know, like when they hit that final right click save and then like email, I don't know how you fucking finish a game, but whatever it is they do to finish it, like they knew, they were like, guys, this is gonna be something. You fucking watch this. There's no way they do that if they're not confident that that game just knocked it out of the park. It was, and the reason I mentioned I wanted to jerk off is because this game has one of like my 3 or 4 favorite scenes in the history of video games, and I
Okay.
knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. And I haven't played this game in 10 years, and I knew exactly it was coming. You get to the part where you're in the flaming building and it's falling down, and it's you and Dom, and you're trying to fight your way out, and you're kind of losing. You're kind of getting your ass kicked. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it feels like there's like a difficulty spike, and you're like, how the fuck do I get out of here? And then all of a sudden, you just hear woo, and a motherfucking Coltrane shows up. And I gotta tell you, Tyler, the shit-eating grin on my face when that man showed up, and I knew he was coming, and I just was like, the first time I played through this game, and I had no idea if like, you don't know, Coltrane, like, where the fuck is he? Like, we don't fucking know. And then when Coltrane shows up, there can't be, if you have played Gears of War and you are not a fan of Cole, you have no soul. You
Yeah,
are dead
you're a
inside.
bastard. You
Yeah,
you yeah.
if you don't like Baird, sure, he can be kind of a dick. If you don't like Dom, I don't know, that's a little odd. If you don't like Marcus, a little bit weird. But if you don't like Cole, you're either dead inside or a full blown racist, and a piece of
Both.
shit, or
Yeah,
both.
both.
Because
Both.
Cole is the fucking man, and that part where he shows up and saves you, oh, I can't even. I'm a 41-year-old man sitting in his basement replaying a game that I've played a couple of times, and the shit-eating grin on my face when that man showed up and saved me. I was like, if I could hug you, sir, I would. A,
So
because I love you, and B, because you genuinely, the game does such a great job of making you feel like you are fucked. Like, this is it. You're going to
oh
game
yeah,
over here. Like, and
because
then
the
he,
rift
oh,
worm at that point, like the rift worm is eating buildings. You're like you think you're going down, and it
yeah,
does
yeah.
get a difficulty spike. You're absolutely right.
Oh, my God.
And like the favorite, like how much of a favorite Coal Train was for me and my buddy. It it wasn't like, hey, get on the Xbox, send a chat invite. Hey man, you want to play Gears? It was Coal Train, baby.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh,
Let's
buddy.
go.
He's just,
And then we were on every time, every day.
he's the best.
Oh,
He's the fucking
so good.
greatest character. That part, like, I love so many parts of this game we're going to get into, but that part where he saves you. Oh my God, I love it. And then Baird shows up too, and Baird's being a cunt like he always fucking is. And
Yeah,
Even Baird, I was like, you know what? You're a piece of shit, but I even like you. Like, even it's even good to see. It felt like being like, listen, Halo 2 is a great fucking game as well. But Master Chief just doesn't have the he has no friends.
yeah. No, he
Like,
has one-liners, and he's the lone wolf, which is great. Love
there's
that
nothing wrong
character
with
arc.
that.
Yeah, love the line like, Chief, what do you need? Get me over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And
But
then dives in. It's so good. Like, so good. Like, it just makes you want to be the fucking strong, silent,
yeah, yeah.
smoldering hero. Gears is for the bros. Halo is,
Gears captures that brothers in arm feeling, like that brothers in arms feeling. Like, and
yeah,
I've never served in the military. They won't give me a
whether you,
gun. But
whether you're
I
on an NFL team, whether you're in a trade, whether you're in the military, it makes you have that sense of camaraderie. Like,
yeah, it
we have
does.
something in common, and it's a struggle.
Because even like when you're like, I mean, it's listen, the Dom is with you. Dom is fucking like the Millhouse to your Bart the whole game, and that's great. Dom's cool. Like, but when you get
Oh,
Colin Baird and we'll shout out Carmine. We'll get there. We'll shout out Carmine.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like when you've got the crew and you're going through these areas and you're fighting and you're like talking shit to each other as you're fighting and they're getting in each other's way and talking smack to each other. Dom, at one point I got taken down and I'm doing that part where you're crawling and waiting for like one of your teammates to pick you up.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Dom comes over and helps me. He's like, "Shake it off, pussy." And I just was like,
yeah. Coming
fuck,
from
that
you,
made me
Dom?
pop so hard. I was just like, that's beauty. I just got shot in the face. Like, I can't walk. Shake it off, pussy. And I just was like, it does. It gives you that feeling of just like, it's you and the boys, and we're in the trenches, and we're fucking getting through this. And I just,
Oh,
God damn it. And I would like to take a moment and just shout out Carmine. Like,
yeah?
he's like, I feel like he's there. I'm actually a little shocked he's not there longer, but I feel like he's there to just kind of give a way for them to explain the context of what's going on to a new player.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, like
Yeah,
which is smart, right?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I like Carmine. I like one part where Dom's complaining about all the dust in his face or something, and Carmine's like, "Well,
If
the
you wore your
federally,
helmet with the
yeah, yeah." He
filters,
like
you'd be
lectures him
fine.
about wearing his helmet with the dust filters in it, like, and they're just like, "Fuck off, rookie, get out of here." Oh fuck,
Did you
man.
like Ty?
You know
The
what? I
Samoan
I
type dude?
I did very much until I do, because I'll tell you again, I played this for the first time in 12 years, and I knew the Cold Train part was coming, but there was a
Yeah.
lot of stuff I didn't remember was coming. And I really like Ty out of the gate. I think what I like about Ty is that like he obviously has Marcus's respect. And if you're playing this game, like you everyone knows what a hard ass badass Marcus is. And so you feel like if Marcus respects this guy must be tough.
Yeah.
Like it just does it. And then that scene where you fucking save him, and then you give him I told you guys spoilers. I told you off the top. You give him that shotgun, and then you turn around and he shot himself because of what they've done to him is so fucked up, dude.
Yeah. Like,
Oh my God.
it's act 2 after the building's falling and all that. And yeah, it rattled me. Ty
Oh
and
yeah.
like hadn't got to that part in the single player and was playing multiplayer with my buddy, and we were playing the campaign together, but we'd also play like Wingman quite a bit. And I'd always put, because my name is Tyler, I would always be, oh sweet, I got a character with the same name. I'm gonna be Ty because you're Coltrane and whatever. And then after that, I was like, can't play as Ty.
I
R.I.P.
know.
brother. And so I
I
started
know.
playing as either Dom or just the random cogs, or which would be Carmine, but Dom or
Carmine.
Carmine in multiplayer. I
And
like
that's
playing
one
as
of
Carmine actually.
I like Carmine too. I like Carmine too. And that's one of like the great things about this game in particular is just again, like there's no way not to compare it to Halo because they're the two, the 1A and 1B. But they are so different. Like not just because it's first person and third person, but like you said, Master Chief, badass, but the lone wolf. This has that brothers in arms camaraderie thing to it. And it's just it's hard to explain, but it's just so like it's a video game where you play as these borderline laughably giant macho men in these huge
What?
sets of armor with these guns with fucking chainsaws on them.
Yeah,
And when
like
one of them dies, it's still it's like this is I call me crazy. Ty's death, and not to mention another death that we're gonna get to in a couple of minutes here in Gears 2. The deaths in Gears 2 hit me 10 times harder than Final Fantasy 7 and the character that died over there.
wow,
Like 10
wow.
times. But I also don't like that character. I think
Yeah,
she's annoying.
I put a lot of time in leveling her up because she was my healer and was fucking crushed.
Oh, no, she
But
sucks. She can go. But
she could. I finished the game without her. So,
oh yeah. But like
you
but
make it.
Ty but when you lose Ty and like again like
Well,
I
and
will say
in a particularly brutal way, like someone dying in combat against the enemy, it's like we're at war with the locusts. That's
we
what
know that's
happens.
coming. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, someone being tortured to the point of breaking and taking their own life. Like I was rattled from that.
Oh yeah.
Like
It's fun. And the fact that you gave him the gun
yeah,
and then turned
and
around and just heard the gunshot, like
like since becoming a father and having kids and everything, I've become way more emotional. If I were to see that scene today, I'd be crying. Like, and
oh,
it makes me a whatever. Like that's just what happens. Like you
it
become
shocked me.
yeah,
Shocked me. It was fucking oh man. And like and again, even like then Marcus like rips his tags off and like, just he's like fuck this place. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
they've all
because
realized they've all
yeah,
realized how fucked they are. Like the thing, and that's one more of the brilliant things about Gears 2 is that they really do a great job of painting this picture where it's like, guys, like this, like we're losing. Like this is it. If we have literally nothing left to lose here. If we don't make this work, we are fucked.
yeah.
Like we are losing. Like humanity is done. And I just never I can't count maybe on one hand the number of games that have really given that feeling of helplessness. Like you're going through this fucking city, and like you said, dude, you're in that like the part where Cole shows up and saves you. You're in this like giant building that has fallen over. You get in the elevator and it's going sideways up
Yeah,
the building, and the doors open and everything's on fire. And then that fucking Brumac is out there trying to get their hands on you, and you just the whole world is just fucked. Like it's fucking, and it just makes it feel so alive. My God, what a game. I want to play Gears 3 like right now. Like I
oh
finished
man,
it and I was like, I don't have time to play another game. I am not waiting 2 more years to cover Gears 3. Because we'll get to the end. Holy
yeah.
Jesus. I need a smoke. Holy fuck.
I I was gonna pour a coffee while we were gonna be talking about this, and I switched to water, like a very conscious choice of like I can't get more amped up from a stimulant. I have to
yeah,
just
yeah.
because otherwise
Oh
I'll
my
just be like,
God.
"Oh." Oh,
To take it back to the start, the combat, they keep the combat system pretty much the same. The
I
hide
think yeah,
behind the walls, the instant reload. I love the instant reload. Everybody
for
loves the instant
all
reload.
5 of them, like, the combat has very little tweaks to be a little bit more fluent here and there and, like, little things, but for all 5 of them, the combat hasn't changed, and the 5th one came out a couple of years ago. Like, it
Yeah.
is the
But
combat they pitch perfect. Like, they
yeah,
pitched the perfect game. The combat is a shutout. It is 10 out of 10. They haven't had to really change it, and, like, it holds up to today's standard. Like I said, Halo 1 doesn't hold Halo 1 to today's standard is slow and doesn't feel like a modern game.
agreed.
Call of Duty, the first one, there's no ground slide, there's no I don't even know if there's ducking. Like it's pretty much Doom the way that game plays. Even Modern Warfare, like it feels like an old game because they've added things to make it more dynamic in the movement. You don't have to add anything. The dynamic movement in Gears is perfect. You
Yeah,
don't have to add anything.
Colonel
You can't.
Sanders doesn't tinker with the herbs and spices. Like it's like it
Uh,
works. Let's not change anything. We got it
mhm.
down. But they do add to it a little bit, and I didn't use like one of the big additions they make to the combat in Gears. I think I can't remember being able to do this in Gears 1 was where you when like a grub is like crawling and instead of going over and like shooting them or stomping on them, which I love doing, you can
You
like pick
can
them up and use them as a human shield.
Yes, that was new,
Uh
and that was highlighted in the original trailer. I think it was the game day launch trailer. It was called it had this like sick monologue, and I think it was by a famous actor, Rendezvous with Death or something like that. Kind of like the first game had that uh really down tempo version of what's that song it does? All around the world, oh shoot, I'm
I
gonna
don't know it. Please sing the whole thing.
no, yeah, with my lovely singing voice. And viewers are dropping off or
Yeah.
listeners.
Yeah, our listenership stopped at about the 58-minute mark, and I don't know
Yeah.
why. That's weird.
But in the trailer, it's like you see this trail. I talked about the trailer for Gears 1 too during the Gears 1 podcast. I'm like a big nerd for stuff like that. Um, it's like uh it's like Marcus dragging this grub, like one of their grunts, and he's dragging it and he like walks by Dom and Dom's down and he like kind of helps him up and then gives him one of the chainsaw guns, machine guns, one of the why can't I think of what the name of the gun is? Um anyway, the Lancer. He gives him a
The
Lancer.
Lancer. I
Yeah.
couldn't think of it either. I was embarrassed. I didn't want to say anything. I was like, I'm just gonna let him drown, and I'm not gonna jump in the pool with him because I can't remember what it's called either.
Yeah. So he hands him a Lancer and then Dom like racks it and he's just kind of sitting there like, I'm in pain. I'm a little bitch, but Marcus is here, so I'll toughen up.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Marcus gets to these stairs and he looks down and it's just a pitched battle, like two lines. It's got a bunch of what are the big brutes called?
The
uh,
Brumax, or
the
like
broom,
the
the boomers.
boomers, the boomers.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
it's got
Boom.
two of the yeah, it's got a couple boomers and they got the big mulcher machine, like the miniguns, the mulchers, and they're sitting there just like, and there's a bunch of grunts and a bunch of the cog army, and they're just going at a big pitched battle. And Marcus gets to the top of the stairs, he looks down on it, and then he picks the grunt up and does the like human shield, meat shield, and just starts running. And some of the boomers turn with their mulchers and start and he's just bump, 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 using that meat shield. It's such a good trailer. And in the background, it's like this low like very deep, gruff voice. I have a rendezvous with death. And then he charges in. It's so good. Like that
It is.
I'm pretty sure that was like it was either the official trailer or the launch day trailer. And like the hype, I was working road construction at the time, so I'm stuck on a patch of like a kilometer road
Yeah,
with the same four people, and I'm vibrating. And like just all I wanted to do was have that game come out from the trailer. And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that ability to pick up the like downed enemy was highlighted in it. Like it was
N-
so good.
Now I
And
will
so
say though,
and
it's
like I
cool,
was
but I
saying,
I didn't use it.
they tweak little things. It was more useful in multiplayer.
Sure. I only
That
used it
was it.
once or twice. I just thought it was
That
cool. That's all.
It was like in single player, you didn't need it. In
No.
multiplayer, there were times where that was like, yeah, I survived because I picked up that guy that I just dropped, like
You know,
2 on 2 or whatever, like 2 on 1 or whatever. You know what
that
I mean? Like
said,
it.
listeners might call me a morbid weirdo for doing this, but like what I did like about the using them as a human shield was I because normally if one of them was crawling and I got a chance to get over to him, I was doing the curb stomp. Like that's my favorite. Like flip them over, stomp them on their face, and break their skull. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
every once in a while, I was like, I'm gonna pick them up, and I didn't even use them as a shield. I would just drag them around for 10 seconds and then break their neck. And
yeah.
I don't know. I was just like, you know what? Maybe that makes me the weird kid that pulled the wings off flies. But I was like, you're trying to take over our world. Fuck you. I'm breaking your fucking neck. So it was
I
just cool. Like I like to. I'm glad that they added things because there's that. There's the shield you can get, which again I never used. The only problem with the shield was I didn't want to use my pistol. The pistol sucks, so I never used my pistol. The shield was rad, but I never used the
oh
pistol.
man, and the pistol, it was kind of okay in multiplayer, but it was like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then the torque bow, which
Man, let's
ah,
go,
you and I
iconic.
were talking about this like when I was replaying the game. We were texting with each other, and like there are few like I think one of the best feelings in gaming is in Halo when you stick one of those plasma grenades on somebody and just watch them
Yeah.
explode. But
Oh,
sticking somebody with a torque bow from a distance, probably better because you feel like a bit of a sniper. And you watch that like that glowing like ember fucking thing in them, and you're just like 3, 2, And
Oh
it fucking
yeah.
feels good. It's very satisfying. The torque bow is fire. And I'm glad that they were able to add stuff like using them as a human shield, taking the shield from those enemies, the torque bow, without breaking what got them to the dance in the first place. Like, it's so well done that they didn't fuck anything up. Well, they also added to it. Because so many games add to whatever they've built, but they do it at the expense of something else.
Yeah.
And I don't
Yeah.
feel
Yeah.
like this game did, The
Nope.
the only thing I would say is, and it's not even, it's really like, it's not going to cost it a point. It's not a big deal. I don't know about you, but like replaying it, I found very few instances where I had to where I felt the need to try to lob the grenade into the hole to like shut it to like the uh not
The immersion
evolving
hole.
immersion hole, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I didn't really do that very often because there was a lot of fights where either you were on a machine or you were in a weird place where they weren't coming up through the hole, because you spend a lot of this game underground where they don't need those holes, or like you're in the factory and stuff. But at the same time, like I loved that system in Gears 1 because it felt good to lob a grenade into that hole and shut everything down. I didn't really feel like I missed it, but I didn't, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Like I didn't care that I didn't do it in this one.
And I think some of those mechanics like were implemented for the campaign, but were like designed for multiplayer. Like the way the grenades lob, awesome in multiplayer. The way you can set the grenade traps, which I can't remember if you could do that in Gears 1. I think that was a new feature in Gears 2, is like sticking the grenade to a pillar or something and then having an enemy walk by it and it's set off by
Oh, I never
proximity.
did that. That sounds awesome though. I never did that.
Oh, am I
Man,
spoiling something
I
for
missed
Gears
out.
3? I
Maybe.
feel like
It could just be that I'm a fucking unoriginal bastard who didn't do anything. It could very well just be. So,
n-
but
I
either way though, like
bolo
I just
grenades. Could you set them as a trap?
the point stands. The fact that they're able to add to the combat without ruining what got them to the dance it was popcorn chicken to the original Colonel recipe. Like they didn't
Oh,
change anything. Like,
okay. And I'm like on the wiki page looking at the grenade, and I'm pretty sure you could stick them. Oh, it might have been in Gears 3, but they added something to the like meat shield in Gears 3 where you could stick
okay.
the grenade on the meat shield and then push it forward.
Buddy, that's awesome. Fucking sick. Oh my god. I love this
Oh,
game so much. I haven't played these games in so long. Like a lot of it felt like playing it for the first time again. And I
what?
just fell in love all over again. I fucking love this game so much.
I play
Oh
each
my
new one
god.
as it comes out and like put
Me
some
too.
hours into the multiplayer, but I put about 200 hours into each one. Gears 4, I maybe put like 60 hours and I didn't like it. I beat the
Gears 4
campaign
is
and
the
then
weakest. Gears 4 is the weakest of the bunch for sure. I thought
well,
Gears 5, like without spoiling it, I thought Gears 5 was a bounce back. Not as good as the Prime years, but good. Like
yeah.
I'm excited for Gears E-Day. I can't wait for E-Day. Holy fuck.
So if they're basing it on the first Gears novel, buddy, it's gonna be wild. It might even be
I think they'll deliver.
it might be a tearjerker. Like we'll see. I
Yeah.
hope they do it based on the novel because the novel is about like Dom, his brother, Marcus, how they join up. It's fucking crazy. And you think Dom and Marcus are tight? Marcus and Dom's brother. That was the Millhouse and Bard.
Oh.
And like
I can't wait. I can't
Marcus
wait. I can't
looked
fucking
up
wait.
to Dom's brother. Like Dom's brother was the alpha. Like
I love
it's
it.
if they follow the book, I don't know. And like I read the book years ago, so you know.
Yeah. And who knows? Like they could get creative with it, but I have faith in them. Like Gears 5 was a return. I think they'll do well.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, we're gonna let a sponsor in here because I got to get that in. We still have we got to talk about the giant worm. We got to talk about riding some of these machines. I want to hear Tyler's talks about multiplayer. We got to talk about the ending. We obviously have to talk about Maria. There's still a lot to cover. Let's let someone in here to keep our bills on, and we'll be right back after this. We've had some great partners over the years here at Remember the Game, but I don't know if any of them have hit home for me quite like Hometown Hero does. No pun intended. Don't start. It's a transparent, honest cannabis company that helps people and gives back to those that have served their country at the same time. I mean, come on. As soon as I read about these guys, I knew I wanted to work with them. Hometown Hero is a cannabis company out of Austin, Texas, and they were founded back in 2015 by a U.S. veteran. They have two goals: create premium hemp products that can help everyone, and to support veterans by donating a portion of those profits to organizations set up to take care of those who have served. Hometown Hero products are of the highest quality, and everything they offer is made right there in the U.S. of A. Gummies, caramels, chocolates, drink mix, there's something for everyone. everyone. And what's more, their hemp is grown locally in Texas, which is something they should and do take a lot of pride in. And they offer certificates of analysis for everything they sell because they want to be clear that their products are as advertised, both in terms of potency and ingredients. No contaminants, you get what you pay for. Just how they conduct business is enough to get my good eyes' attention. But when you circle back to the fact that the company was founded by a veteran and they put such heavy emphasis on supporting veterans, this isn't just lip service. I'm not reading a script I was given here. I'm proud to have Hometown Hero associated with Remember the Game. Reclaim your evening. Visit hometownhero.com and use code RTG to take 20% off your first purchase. That's hometownhero.com, code RTG for 20% off your first purchase. Okay, so let's just quickly go through a couple more of the highlights from the campaign, and then we'll move on to some of the other stuff. Dude, inside the giant worm. So there's this like you go underground, and then you fucking see this worm that is like I don't even know what it's like, what it's comparable to in size. Yeah, riftworm. It is massive, and it's what's sinking the cities. Like they're using it to eat up all the dirt under the cities to sink cities. It's crazy, and you're trying to figure out how the fuck you're going to stop this thing. And then eventually you fly out of the helicopter, poor Carmine falls in, and then it eats all of you in the helicopter. And then it's you, Dom, Baird, and Cole literally walking through a fucking giant worm's intestines and everything, trying to find its heart to cut it up to kill this fucking worm. And it's disgusting, but what a brilliant fucking level. Like that's one of those things that sticks with you. In real life, how those men are still even remotely okay, I don't understand. I think that's something that would ruin you, but that level sticks with you big time.
So, I was talking to my boss about the show Yellowstone, and I was like bitching about. I was like, man, like the first 3 episodes, so much shit happens to those guys. Like they would be catatonic with PTSD. Like there's no fucking way. And he turned to me and put his hand on my shoulder. He's like, "It's a fucking TV show, dude." Yeah, okay, sure, absolutely. Like same thing. Like no way these guys would be living the one battle and they'd be all shell shocked and be like, "All right, send them to the mental hospital to fix them because like they're not going back to war after that."
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
not
it's so like you're fucking running through that thing and you have to dodge the giant digestive teeth. There's like parts of cities inside of this fucking thing. You need to fight these like weird parasites that fucking grow out of it. And then you need to find 3 giant hearts and sever all the arteries. And the third one, like as you're severing the arteries, you're trying not to drown in blood.
yeah. And
It's
so
fucked.
according to Reddit users, it's 8 to 10 miles long and about a half mile wide. I don't know what that is in kilometers. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
our
I don't
American
either.
audience.
Yeah.
I'm
Sorry,
like,
guys.
that sounds big. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking big. That's crazy. Like it's such a bad. Like, there's even one part where you're like literally in like its intestines, and you're suffocating. You're like, we need to get out of here. It's fucking disgusting, but you're like cutting through these like thin membranes and shit to fucking get to the next parts of the level, and
I
it's
love it.
such a
But it's
oh
like you were
fuck.
saying, like they sat in a conference room and like, okay, what wild shit can we do? And someone's like, man, I was reading Dune the other day, and those giant sandworms are pretty cool. We could put Dom and Marcus in a giant worm.
Yeah, and
Like,
they don't even the cover system doesn't even matter in there, and it doesn't. And you would think like, well, I don't want to play Gears without the cover system, but then they found a way to make it so creative that you're like, no, never mind. Actually, this is fucking pretty rad. I don't need the cover
you're
system.
still using the chainsaw gun. Like,
It's true.
deal with it.
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking sick. I think that's one of the coolest parts of the game is fighting your way through that fucking giant, disgusting fucking worm. I like I like when you go to the old facility and you're in that old facility and you and Dom basically go down in and like they really tried to tell a little bit more of a story in this one. Like you're finding out that like even when you're talking to the old colonel and stuff, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck this is. And it turns out they've been like operating on these fucking creatures and created weird fucking mutant versions of them and shit. And like Marcus's dad was kind of shout out to Adam Phoenix, great name.
Yeah.
He plays more of a role in part 3, but he's kind of getting referenced, and you're trying to find out these things where like humans have never been. And again, it doesn't make you use the cover system too much, but by the end of it, they've shown up, the bad guys. I can't remember their name all of a sudden for some reason now.
Locust?
The Locust. Yeah, they've showed up for some reason, but you're also fighting like the security systems and all that kind of stuff. And that fucking
Yeah.
snobby British cunt computer is fucking talking shit to you while you're
That's
walking through and everything.
Yeah, that's where you find out a little bit about like where the locusts come from and the emulsion, right? Like how
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
experimenting with emulsion and it's their fuel source, but it's also kind of like, well, we don't really know what this shit is.
Yeah, yeah. And I really enjoyed that whole part. And then I love that because again, it was like playing it for the first time. I'm going through and it's Marcus and Dom in the lab, and they tell Cole and Baird to guard the fucking car. I can't remember what it's called, like the giant vehicle they're fucking driving. And as you're going through, Baird is fucking beaking you, and he's like, "Hey, it's starting to really rain out here." And like, I'm even thinking in my head, I'm like, Baird, shut the fuck up. There's fucking mutants down here breaking through glass, trying to eat our faces. We're dodging flamethrowers and gun turrets. I don't give a shit if you're getting wet. And then he's like, hey, it's starting to razor hail out here. And I was like, it's fucking hail. I've seen your armor suit. Shut the fuck up. And then finally you tell him, like, all right, get inside. And then you get up there, and then you need to fight your way out. And then you find out that razor hail is hail made of fucking razors.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like, oh, never mind. All right, Baird, fair enough. I'll shut up. Fair enough.
yeah.
And then you're like trying to find ways to create some kind of cover to stay underneath it while you're still fighting your way on like these old trains and shit. Like, I fucking love that whole factory level. I thought it was awesome. The
Comparable
lab
to
level.
when you're in the first one where you're driving in the vehicle and you have to shine the light or the little bat things get you, which I
That's a
fucking
great
hated.
segment.
I
I
oh
love that segment. I love that fucking
I
segment.
hated those bats. Like it's frustrated me to no end. But very comparable to that. But so do you know that the guy who voices Marcus Phoenix voices Jake the dog in Adventure Time? Have you seen Adventure
No,
Time ever?
I've never
Same
seen
dude,
Adventure Time though.
same dude. Also might be the dude who does the voice for Bender, but I can't remember if that's him, and I don't want to mix it all up. So just I
Oh yeah,
absolutely know he's Jake the dog and
that's
Marcus
awesome.
Phoenix. And there's a scene in Adventure Time where Jake's like, "Come on, Finn, we got to go inside." A knife storm's about to take place, and they walk inside, and then Finn looks outside, and just daggers are raining from this guy, and he's like, "It's beautiful." And in that scene in Gears, that's what it makes me think of. I'm like, "Oh, so good." I don't think it's a nod. I think the timeline is a little skewed for those two,
Okay.
but
I love
10
that.
out of
I love
10.
that. I love that razor hail part where you're literally opening
So
like
good.
the giant bay doors just to have some kind of cover. But by opening them, you're hiding from the razor hail, but opening yourself up to being shot by the fucking locusts instead.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love, and then you fucking take. I wish I could remember the name of that fucking vehicle they're in. That giant
The
warhog.
tank,
Yeah, the giant
the
fucking.
Centaur tank, or
No, fuck, I
there was
don't remember what it's
another
called.
vehicle. There was one, the
The one
Centaur.
you're like driving across the ice and then you take underground, and I can't remember what it's called now. And people are gonna be
Uh,
yelling at their fucking phones and shit, but they
fuck,
should be used to
because
that. But
um,
you take it like down. Is it the Centaur tank? No,
that's what I
the
that's
Centaur
what I
tank is
just
what.
said.
No, that's what the old man drives. That's not
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
what the
yeah,
old
yeah.
man drives. But anyway, so that you take that fucking other tank that you drive up
Over
through the
the
winter.
ice.
Yeah,
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 that's
that
the
one.
Centaur tank.
I don't think it is.
It's a
I'm gonna
different version
Google
of
it.
it. It's a different version of it. It's the
Because
Centaur
he
tank.
tells them,
There's
like, guys, guard the whatever the fuck.
well, he
Gears
named it.
2 Ice Tank. Fuck is it called now? God damn it. You'll have to drive to Mount Kadar. I remember that.
Yeah, in a
The
Centaur
tank
tank.
goes. Is it a Centaur? I don't think it is. Maybe it is. Fuck, now everyone's gonna be. I can just hear people yelling at their fucking phones. Oh, it is.
The
All right, fair enough. It is. It is a Centaur. All right, I'll shut up. Fair enough. All right. Well, then what the fuck does the old man drive? Is that a Centaur as well? The one you can all ride on top of that he calls Betsy or whatever the fuck?
Yeah, I think it's just like a shitty version of it because he's a. Do they call them the remnants or something like that? Like the people that the Cog Army was subjugating beforehand. Because
I don't know. I
The Cog Army isn't a bunch of good guys. Like they're fighting
uh,
for the
yeah,
survival of their
yeah,
species, but
yeah.
similar to how like the Spartans were designed to subjugate people, and then they're like, "Oh shit, aliens showed up. Use these guys."
Yeah. Fuck. Yell at me if you want. I don't give it. I play. You know how many games I fucking beaten in the last like 9 days to get ready for this? I don't fucking know. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, didn't
So
you
you
say you
take the
did 28 podcasts?
yeah 29 shows in 28 days. So fucking leave me alone. I don't fucking. And I remember as much about this as I do. Is special. I like that you take that Centaur underground and then it like goes totally dark, and then you can see the fucking white eyes. And Baird's trying to get the fucking tank working again. And then when he does, all those fucking berserker fucking spider things are just down there looking at you. And you got to fight your
Oh,
way through them and stuff. I loved that part. It was
because
so awesome.
that was like a big, like this is a big boss in the first one, and then what are those called? The corpsers, I think, right? Like the
Oh,
spider
yeah, I
thing.
think they're. Yeah,
Yeah,
I called it a
corp.
berserker, but you're right. I think it's a corpser. Yeah, I think it's a
Yeah,
corpser. Yeah,
yeah, because I think the berserker are like the big troll like things.
yeah, yeah.
No, those are
No, that's
brumax.
Brumax. Brumax.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
There's a
don't know
lot.
if
There's
yeah,
Brumax, there's Corpsers, there's the Reavers you fly on, which
yeah,
are
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
cool.
yeah. The
Um,
blood mounts.
yeah. I love that part where you're underground and it's like all the it's fucking creepy, man. You're in this like underground cave and then every like the fucking thing like shuts down and they're all like, Baird, get it fixed. And he's like, shut the fuck up, I'm trying. And then these bright white eyes are just looking at you. And then finally he's like, there we go. And the spotlight comes back on and there's three of these fucking things just staring at you. And you're like, ah, fuck. And then you got to fight your way through there. And then you finally get down to the bottom. And who do you run into? The fucking old man from the gas station in Gears 1. I love that guy. He's
Oh
such an
yeah,
old pain in the ass. And then he's yelling at you about hiding down there. And then you go even deeper down because you find out the locusts have been catching humans and like
yeah, and
experimenting on them and using them
and
as like slaves.
labor. Yeah, they have labor camps. That's
Yeah.
it's gross. Yeah,
And I love that you've got the one part where you're on that floating dock and you're like ripping down this fucking river and fighting fucking gunships, and then a giant fucking snake worm thing pops up and you go in its mouth and have to
yeah.
lob grenades into its fucking throat after you shoot its weird tentacle teeth things. Oh
I
my
think they
god.
call that the Leviathan, and by crossing,
It's
yeah, when
fucking
you're crossing the
disgusting.
massive lake, I think that was the Leviathan.
And then while you're down there, the Locust Queen is getting on this, like, I don't know where they got a PA system, but the Locust Queen is on a PA system telling everybody, like, this is our chance, take it to them. And then at one point, Cole gets a hold of the microphone and he's like, we're down here to fuck you all up. And I, and I was just like, fuck, I love you, Cole, so much.
Man,
But I
can you
also was
imagine?
like, don't egg.
Can you
What?
imagine being in an army of like super mutants and you just hear this the puniest of the humans, the Delta Squad humans, who are like the tip of the spear, the puniest tip of the spear, getting on the mic and being like, "We're gonna fuck you up." His confidence has rattled me. Like I know I'm bigger, I'm dumber, I'm more resilient, but I'm not fighting that motherfucker. And
Yeah, you're,
Coltrane, that
yeah.
woo, that is a battle cry. I'm out.
Oh fuck! But the fact that he's like, you're literally on there, and then he even says he's like, "I love a good away game, baby," and I'm like, "We're in their fucking hive, like
Yeah.
stop!" But at the same time, you're a badass. But I also, even at one point, Marcus is like, "Cole, knock it off," because it's like you're gonna get us all fucking killed. God damn it! So, and did you notice? Like, I don't know if you remember, like when you play through the campaign, there's not one segment where when you have to split up into two teams of two, where Marcus picks Baird. Marcus either sends Cole and Baird or he sends Dom and Baird, but he never goes off with Baird,
Of
which
course
I think
not.
is funny.
It's cool.
And then
There can
and
only
then
be
like
one asshole on the team, so it's either Marcus or Baird. Like you can't put those
yeah,
two together.
so like one of the big storyline developments is that they've been like experimenting on these fucking things with the emulsion and everything in that fucking lab. One of them is that Adam Phoenix, Marcus's dad, at one point you find out it sounds like he had a plan to sink Jacinto to drown and kill all the rest of the locust
Which is
underground.
like the capital city for
Right.
for
It's like their last stronghold that
yeah,
they've been
yeah,
trying to defend, and now they find out like let's sink it, and then we'll drown and crush the rest of the fucking locust underneath. Like that was Adam Phoenix's plan. But then there's also this like side quest. Well, not a side quest, but like a B plot, if you will, where you're trying to find Dom's wife, Maria,
yeah.
and
Not to be confused with like the Locust Queen Mariah, or how
no,
do you say that? It was like Myrrah or something, and she looked
yeah,
oddly human. Where I was like, wow,
she did
this
look
is not
human.
this is not what I was expecting from the Locust Queen. I'm a little bit
And I
into
will
her.
say, yeah, we find out a little bit more about the Locust Queen in future Gears games, but we're only spoiling Gears 2. We
Yeah,
won't we
yeah,
won't
yeah,
ruin anything more. So,
yeah. That's why
but
I'm keeping
so
it vague. But you see
yeah,
her, and you're like, what? This doesn't track. What is
yeah,
happening here?
yeah. And so I like the part where you get down to like their base or whatever the fuck, and Marcus is like, no, like Dom, listen, I understand you want to find your wife, but this is our chance to take out the Locust Queen. We owe it to fucking humanity. We got to do this. And Dom is like, no, dude, just like when you look for your dad, we got to find my wife. And Marcus, being the good friend he is like, all right, let's go. So then finally you go through like all those different, you see so many humans in like these fucking cages, these like chamber things, or like being put to work, digging up sugar or whatever the fuck the locusts want. And you do finally find Maria, and she needs a sandwich.
Yeah, she's
Uh,
not
sh-
not in a good way.
No. And it's sad enough when you like find her and she's all fucked up, but then Marcus like gives Dom a minute with her and it's obvious that Dom's got to put her down. Like you can't let her live like this. And when Marcus is walking away and you just hear that pistol shot and Marcus just winces and then Dom walks up a couple minutes later, that's like between that and Ty, like this game will
That
punch you in
hit.
the gut a couple of
Well,
times, man.
and like that's a shift in Dom too. Like you in the next game, Dom isn't the same.
No,
Like
he's not.
he has become dark and brooding. Like after this, there is no best friend Dom. Like it's
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Dom is a
broken.
changed man. Yeah, like
Yeah, he's
it's
broken.
hard.
And then the only other parts of the campaign I wanted to talk about before we switch over to multiplayer is I love the part where you need to get out of their like hive down underground, and you decide to ride out on the fucking reverse, and Cole keeps calling his horsey. He's like, "Let's go, horsey!" And Baird is like yelling at him to shut up, basically. And you got to fight your way out of there. And then at the very end of the game, right at the very end of the game, Marcus decides, "Let's ride that Brumac." And
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
like,
Oh man, that's such a
are you sure? And
yeah.
it's pretty fucking sick. You get to ride
It's
this fucking
10
Godzilla lizard with rocket launchers on it. It's pretty
and they
sick.
fly into there with that. But I just getting back to Dom's wife dying.
Yeah,
One of
yeah.
the best dialogues in the game too happens at that point, right? Because it's like Dom puts her down or whatever, and Marcus winces, like you were saying, and it's like, oh, like just gut wrenching because you're like, oh, he did what he had to do. Like he didn't want to leave it to her to do it like Ty. Like they almost foreshadow that, like if you're tortured by the locust, like there ain't coming back from that. Like
No, you're fucked. Yeah,
Ty's
you're
a
done.
big
Yeah.
badass Samoan motherfucker that Marcus respects, and he got tortured and like offed himself, so
Yeah.
she's done. And then Marcus goes to Dom and he's like, if you want to go in guns and blazing, I don't blame you. And then
Yeah.
Dom just looks at him and I want to kill them all. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh,
Yeah, that's pretty badass. Because yeah, you're right. Because Marcus is just like, hey, like the play here is slow and steady, quiet, sneak in the back door. They won't even know we're here. But if you want to go in and just start fucking them up, I understand. And yeah, Dom's like, yeah, we're gonna go in and start fucking them up. And
yeah.
Marcus doesn't even protest. He just is like, all right, let's fucking go.
Did
And
you ever
like knowing they might be walking into their death, it's pretty sick. It's pretty fucking
did,
sick.
did you ever see that movie with Ben Affleck, The Town, with Jeremy Renner?
No, I don't think so.
And they're like bank robbers or whatever, and like uh, uh, Ben Affleck goes to Jeremy Renner and he's like, I need your help. We're gonna hurt some people, and you can't ask any questions. And best friend dynamic, and Renner just turns to him and is like, "When do we leave?" It's like it's that scene.
Nice.
It's like, "Hey,
Yeah,
let's go.
yeah.
Let's fucking do it.
That's awesome.
Ride or die, buddy."
I love it.
So
And
good.
then I love that. I love the again, we said we're spoiling everything. Oh yeah, there's the boss fight with that fucking badass lizard with the double-sided Q-tip saw. I don't know what the fuck you'd call it. But
Uh,
it's
the
pretty badass.
Scourge,
Yeah,
the like
yeah.
the main, not the because you killed the general in the first one, but Scourge, the like new general, who's kind of
Yeah.
like he looks like he's the same mutation or creature or whatever as the torque bow guys, like the
Yeah, yeah.
not the elites. I forget what they're called, but the
And,
like
and there's two
the
parts with him that are
Cantus? Is that Cantus or something?
I think it is.
Cantor?
Yeah, Cantus. Yeah, yeah. I think it is
Yeah, yeah.
Cantus. Yeah. And there's two scenes with him that are fucked up. And the one is when he first debuts, and Marcus and Dom are in the I don't know what it's called, the fucking drill chute to go down underground, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
see
yeah.
him down on their ship like killing all their fucking troops, but they can't go help them because they got to go underground. And then
Yeah.
later on, you fight him, and I love when you're fighting him because every time him and Marcus get face to face, you don't even shoot, you just mash B and use the saw on your
Yeah,
lancer.
you have a
And
series of chainsaw duels with, and it feels fucking intense.
it
Like it
feels
is
intense. Yeah, yeah. And
like
there's a great part where Marcus is just like, "What's the matter? Mad we killed your pet worm?" And I just think I was like, fuck. I was like, "You're fighting the most scary looking thing I've ever seen, and you're talking shit at the same time." God,
oh man.
you're such a man.
I
I'm
want to
such a
go.
pussy.
I want to go play this now that I know that that voice actor is Jake the dog too, because I want those lines of "What's the matter? Mad we killed your pet worm," and then like
Yeah,
in my head, I don't know if you've ever watched Adventure Time, but there's this famous like meme that they made where it's like Jake the dog making bacon pancakes,
that's
and
the
he's
only thing I know about Adventure Time is making pancakes, making bacon
making bacon
pancakes.
pancakes.
And that's the only thing I know from that show is that
Yeah.
stupid thing.
What's the matter? "Bad, we killed your pet worm, making pancakes, making bacon pancakes." So good.
Oh fuck.
Who said voice
Uh,
actors don't have dynamic range?
yeah, yeah. So I just want to clarify too. If we've gotten anything wrong this episode, the name of a machine, the name of whatever, fucking leave us alone. Oh, it is Scourge that you fight in this one. You fight Scourge. I
Yeah,
just looked it up. We fight
I
Scourge. Yeah, yeah.
I forget what the general's name was. It was like General whatever, and then Scourge, and man, I
Scourge is
can't remember.
creepy. Fucking
I gotta go
creepy looking
back and play
motherfucker.
Gears 3. Like, Gears 2 was, like I said, my pinnacle of gaming, and I gotta remember the bad guy in Gears 3, but I think it was, like it was another Locust that looked badass. It might have been Scourge. Does he get away in this one?
Uh,
No, you kill him in the final act. I forget who the gear doesn't
no, I
matter, we'll
don't.
do
Yeah, I don't know.
Gears
I
3
don't
will come
remember.
later, but you
Yeah,
do
yeah,
kill a Scourge, yeah. You
yeah.
kill the main general in every one of the games.
Everybody yell at us if you want. Like every time we do a game that has a passionate following, I get messages from people being like, here's all the things you got wrong. And I listen, I love you. I love you listen to the show. I appreciate the passion. I love this game. I'm passionate, but like I don't I don't care. I don't care. I'm like, it's just fun. You shoot
If
bugs. You
if
shoot
you had
man bugs.
if you
Uh,
had lots of time on your hands, which you don't, but if you did, that would be a hilarious segment of like going through the games and all right, so this is what I got wrong in Super Mario World, which I don't know
oh
how you
man.
got so much wrong with that game,
It's
but you got a
fucking
lot wrong.
wild. Dude, you wouldn't like we finish a Pokemon episode and people are like, actually, number 77 in the Pokedex is a fucking executioner or whatever the fuck.
Um,
And I'm like, I go listen to one of the smart shows then. This is the dumb show. This is the smoke some pot. Just enjoy the stupid show. Just enjoy it. It's dumb. So then
like,
at the end of the game, they do sink Jacinto and
yep,
they crush all the locusts and all that, and everything's all sunshine and lollipops. And then after you watch the credit, Adam Phoenix comes on the radio being like, "What the fuck?" And it sets up now. That's why I don't remember what happens in Gears 3, and now I want to play Gears 3 because I don't remember. And now I want to see what the fuck happens because I don't remember. But apparently, it wasn't Adam Phoenix's plan to sink the town and kill everybody.
yeah, and
But I
like
don't remember.
at the end of Gears 2, when you're riding that Brumac out, it starts to mutate because of the emulsion, like the
Oh
exposure.
yeah,
So they,
when
like
it's
it's
down in the water or whatever. Yeah, yeah.
and I forgot, but that's like one of the things in Gears 3 is like a lot of the locusts are starting to mutate and shit like that. So like that emulsion, which is funny because emulsion is a real thing, and it's when two fluids that don't normally mix. I deal with this in my like real life job. Two fluids that normally, yeah,
Nerd. Sorry,
two
go ahead.
fluids that don't normally mix get mixed because of temperature or whatever. So like oil and water that will mix under pressure, and it creates emulsion, and it absolutely destroys things like valves because it's if you're in a compressor or something like that's why you have things that remove water from your compressed air. They it's not a knock at the game, but they like, oh, we need this substance, what are we going to call it? Like, oh man, I took a chemistry class and emulsion is a really cool term. He was like, yeah, we can't use the same thing as real world, so we'll change the E for an I. Fucking genius. Do it. Emulsion.
Fucking nerds. Jesus. There you go.
sorry,
So don't yell at
sorry
us
that
because we got character names wrong. We just taught you about emulsions or emulsions or emulsions,
emulsion
emulsions,
emulsion
z emulsions. It's
the
done.
emulsion.
Okay. Like I know. Look, we're almost an hour already, and I
Hell
still
yeah, let's
want
go for
to.
2 hours. Gears 2,
No,
2 hours.
I'm fucking tired. God damn it. No, I played hockey 3 hours ago. I'm fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
I do want to ask you though, because I have no friends. And I will say, now that I've played a little bit of Call of Duty and somewhat enjoyed it, perhaps when Gears E Day comes out, I'll hop in the online and give it a shot because I'm
Matt,
slowly
I'll
broadening
throw
my
down with you.
horizons.
I'll throw
Yeah.
down with you. I'll make it
Tyler,
I'll make it so that like Friday nights I'm not allowed to be a parent or a worker and just play Gears.
I ask you, my friend, I'm gathering around the lemon tree. Your grandpa Simpson. What was multiplayer like in Gears 2? Apparently, Horde mode was the thing.
So Gears 1 didn't have Horde mode. It had pretty much like a team deathmatch mode, and I didn't play a lot of Gears 1 multiplayer. It came out before I had an Xbox, and then I got someone's like hand me down Xbox and like 360 and played like Gears 1 and was like, "Oh, I missed this. Like, how did I miss this?" I was partying too hard, was kind of living a little bit of a debaucherous lifestyle. Gears 2, one of the big announcements was there was going to be a Horde mode, and it's one of, if not the first console game to have that mode. I don't want to say like exclusively because I'm sure there were other games that had that, but not like that. Like Horde mode it was a new thing. Like, people remember when the first Battle Royale came out. That this was like that. It was a new game mode that like then other games emulated. Like Halo ODST had a Horde mode because of this. Like
Okay.
other games didn't have
And
Horde
and
mode.
it, and I'm sorry, but horde mode is just you fight endless waves of enemies till you die.
Yeah, and every
Yeah.
10th level is a boss.
Okay.
It was if you wanted to play the game with your buddies and you were done the campaign, but you didn't want to play against other people, it was the perfect mode. It was the perfect blend of PvE while without being a campaign. Like it was awesome. You could set
Okay.
up traps. I might be mixing up because like I said, I've been playing each Gears and I haven't gone back to play these. So you might not have been able to set up traps and stuff yet, but in one of the horde modes, eventually you could set up machine gun turrets, auto turrets, barbed wire. So you could set up traps and shit to make it easier on you. And it was just wave after wave. And then the bosses got harder. It was and like just progressively got harder. Like Modern Warfare 2, when that came out, I can't remember which one. One of the I think it was 2 because Modern Warfare 1 was out before this, and then 2 came, Black Ops with zombies, and then zombies was kind of like this too. But um, when Modern Warfare 2 came out, it had a horde mode as well, where you fought off like I forget what they called them, juggernauts or whatever, but it was wave after wave of enemies. Like it's just such a good mode, and like Gears lends itself to it with the cover combat, being able to set up a little base, the different weapons, picking up weapons off the enemies, getting overwhelmed, the tickers that you boot out of the way. We didn't even talk about the tickers as an enemy, but like these
Oh yeah,
little crab
those little
runny bombs.
suicide bombing little bastards.
Yeah, like
Oh, sorry, if I could just for a moment. Listen, I love Dom as much as the next person, but when I was fighting that fucking giant mutated Q-tip rocking jigsaw buzz ant, whatever the fucking the boss guy, and the tickers keep coming out, and Marcus is like, Dom, keep those tickers at bay. And sure as fuck, the tickers are there blowing my ass up. Well, I'm trying to watch where this fucking bug is so I can go and chainsaw shit talk him about killing his giant worm. And I'm like, hey, Dom, love you, buddy. Know you just lost your wife, but how about you pull your fucking head out of your ass and shoot a couple of fucking exploding tickers? You piece of fuck. Fuck those little bastards. Sorry,
yeah,
continue.
no,
Fuck them.
and so like horde mode was like I said, I don't know if it was the first, but it was epic. It was one of the best things in Gears 2. Slightly better in my opinion. And like they had, King of the Hill. They had a mode called Annex, which was like King of the Hill, but the hill moves. Protect the
Okay.
leader or Guardian, where you had a leader and I think as long as your leader was alive, you'd respawn. Yeah, like Guardian, as long as you kept your VIP alive, you respawn. So like if you were the VIP, fucking hide, and
Right.
waves of your guys kept going to try and get the enemy's VIP. Execution, which was like team deathmatch, but you had to execute the enemies. They could always be picked up. You couldn't shoot them from a distance. And the war zone, which was not like Call of Duty war zone, but it was just their team deathmatch. And submission, which was like capture the hill or capture the flag. So like you had pretty standard multiplayer modes, uh, all really fun. Like submission, really
I
fun. I always like a good capture the flag. Halo, I think, did capture the flag better because of vehicles and how much bigger the maps were. Like the scale of the maps was larger. But
sure.
but the one mode, and this is where like my claim to fame for Gears comes in. Wingman, 2v2v2v2v2,
You are a good wingman. I agree.
the best mode, and
Yeah.
professionally a wingman. It Me and my buddy Kyle were in the top of the leaderboard when this was out. We were playing 12 hours a day. Might be embellishing that a little bit because I had a girlfriend who was pretty pissed every time she came home from work and I was still playing Gears of War. But we were on it. Like we were seasonal workers, so we were on Gears every day. If we were finished the campaign, we would play Wingman was like our game mode of choice, and we were in the top 10 of the leaderboard. At one point, we were like number 2. I don't think we were ever able to take the number 1 spot, but like we put the hours in. And so the mechanic you were talking about picking up a body and using him as a human shield, and how Doesn't really play out very well in a single player campaign.
Yeah.
That could have been the difference between getting a torque bow arrow in the chest and being dead versus picking him up. The body catches a torque bow arrow, boom, explodes, and you use your hammer or your lancer and freaking annihilate the other guy. Like, it was
Ah.
so good. And the like dynamic cover system in single player, like, you just go to cover and hide and whatever. In multiplayer, you would use it to shuttle. I don't know what there was probably a term, like kind of the dolphin dive in COD has a term where you're diving up and down and doing like a ground slide to originally the dolphin dive was where you just dive to the ground and then shoot the guy. But now they have this like slide cancel mechanic.
Okay.
It's something like that, where instead of in COD where you slide and then cancel and then slide to get a little bit of a movement boost, you
Yeah, yeah.
would go into cover and then flip into the next cover. And this was like a skill you had to develop. So you would be like bouncing off walls. And someone who was good at this was unstoppable. And then throw in the Nasher, like the shotgun. If they could do the 1-2 combo where they either had the Nasher turbo reloaded where it did extra damage, or did a melee attack and then Nashered, you'd get 10 kills in a match. Like, and that's like wiping all the enemy teams. Like, you were
Sure.
unstoppable. It was so good.
I got to
Multiplayer
imagine.
Gears
Go ahead.
multiplayer is one of the peak multiplayers. Like, I prefer it over Warzone. I prefer it over Halo. I prefer it over Escape from Tarkov, which is grueling and I haven't played in a while. But like, I prefer it over all other multiplayers.
I gotta say that the cover system alone must just lend itself to multiplayer so well. Like
Uh,
instead of just running into each other and getting shot by each other, like that cover system, like it's
it's
great to just play in the
clutch.
campaign, but the computer AI just isn't up to stuff compared to
It's
playing
clutch.
with someone else that knows how to use it as well.
So, and the other mechanic you're talking about is like the lobbing of the grenades with the cover system. Somebody's behind cover, and you're like, man, I can't advance on this guy. Like, and he's a human player, so he's strategizing and thinking against you. He's not just sitting there. So it's not like you can flank him. Like, he's aware of where you are. It's like, what am I gonna do? Lob a grenade. Now he has to move. He gets up. You're annihilate. Like, oh man, the peak strategy third person shooter. Like, this is some of the best multiplayer I've ever played, and probably some of the longest hours I've ever put into a multiplayer.
I'm like now that I'm still such a noob, but now that I put like a bunch of hours into Call of Duty Black Ops 6, I'm like, man, maybe I will play online with people. And now I can't wait for Gears E Day. Like I can't wait. I even like Gears, even the remake of Gears 1 is coming out soon. And like I'm tempted to hop in and just try it in that just because I want to see what it's like. I I fucking listen, we could keep going forever, but we gotta end this thing. It's getting late. I gotta get this thing done. Gears 2, buddy. What a Jesus Christ, what a
Okay,
fucking game. I love this game
quickly,
so much.
favorite weapon,
Torque bow.
torque bow, hands
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. You?
I
Same?
mean, yeah, you can't get past the torque bow, but I really did like what was the Locust bolt gun called? Like their gun machine gun called the not a hammer. Was it a hammer?
Oh. Oh yeah, dude. Also, I just want to quickly give a shout out. I was disappointed. I thought I was gonna have to go the whole game without the Hammer of Dawn. And I was like, come
Yeah,
on.
no,
And
you
then
get to
right
use
near
it a
the
bunch.
end, they're like, yeah, then near the end, they're like, by the way, the Hammer of Dawn's online. And I'm like, fuck yeah, it is. And you just start destroying everything. And it's fucking good.
Oh, it was in I think it's in Horde mode you get to use it a bunch, not in the campaign.
Yeah,
I'm
in the
pretty sure
campaign, you get it like once near the end. And it's
yeah,
pretty
you
badass.
you get to
Yeah.
use it a bunch in the Horde mode. Um,
Uh, well, sorry. So are you thinking like their main, like they're just their main,
the
like,
hammer burst, the hammer burst. I
okay.
love their rifle. Like, you do the quick reload, and if you land on the special part, the damage multiplier was huge. It hits, but I love the Nasher shotgun. Like, that is it's
I,
iconic to the Gears. Like, all like the Lancer is the weapon everybody highlights, but the
of
Nasher
course.
shotgun, right there.
I liked their sniper rifle too.
The long shot, yeah, 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 it's
Yeah,
cool.
I use that one quite a bit. That was pretty satisfying. If you could hit it, if you could like pick someone like, dude, oh man, hitting a fucking guy that's hiding on a goddamn turret in the head and fucking killing him, and then
Oh yeah,
it automatically puts you back in cover, and then to hit the quick reload and just get back up there, and you feel like
oh,
a fucking chief. Like it feels
oh yeah.
good.
Well, and then
But I am a torque bow guy.
in multiplayer, I love the torque bow too. Like, if you hit him in the head and the head's just gone and the arrow
Yeah,
just keeps
yeah.
sailing, love it, love it. And like I'm pretty sure I think it was in this one. Like, if you hit if you were playing the Locust and you hit one of the cogs in the head with a long shot, their helmet would blow off. Like, ah, man, it's so good. Like
Oh,
all of the
it's such
weapons.
a
The
great game.
bolt lock pistol is the one I was thinking of, where I
Oh,
like that
okay.
pistol too. Like because you get to pick your loadout in multiplayer. I would
Okay.
have the hammer burst, the Nasher shotgun, the bolt lock pistol. There wasn't a flamethrower in this Gears. That's
Yeah,
in
there
Gears.
was. You get a flamethrower in this one. I didn't use it
Okay.
a ton. I more enjoyed blowing up the enemy's flamethrowers and watching them run around panicking until it explodes. But yeah, you could get a flamethrower in this one.
Yeah, okay, sick. So like hammer lock or a hammer burst, the bolt lock pistol, and then the Nasher shotgun. That's my loadout. And then it was those like aha moments, and like there's parallel thinking. I'm not saying we innovated this, but like in StarCraft, I was one of the first guys in multiplayer that was doing the 9-minute nuke rush, and that was devastating to people. In this, I can't remember if it was my buddy Kyle or I, but one of us picked up that flamethrower. Nobody was using it in multiplayer. Like it was seen as like it's a close range weapon. It's fucking useless.
Yeah, yeah.
We picked it up in a multiplayer match and dropped the entire enemy team, and it was like, oh. And we started doing that and had huge success, especially in Wingman, because you're fighting 2v2v2s.
Right, right.
Huge success. And within a week, you couldn't get to that flamethrower fast enough.
That's
Everybody
big.
was picking it up. And like I said, I don't think we were the like original, we were just ahead of the curve. We were like
Sure,
with
sure.
that wave of people who were doing new and innovative things within the game, and it was fucking gold.
I
Yeah, I
love it.
love that
I can just
flamethrower.
hear it in your voice. Oh my god, what a fun! I listen. I love all my guests. I love doing most of the episodes of the show. I'm burned out. Like I've done a lot of shows in the last few weeks to get ready for my holiday. The last hour 7 minutes has fucking flown. This has been so much fun. I this really should have been a milestone episode, but episode 350, I already have a game in mind, and I wasn't waiting till episode 400. I was like, I want to play Gears because I wanted to at least play the Gears trilogy before E-Day. And I'm
Yeah, yeah,
hoping
yeah.
that at Summer Game Fest, which will have happened by the time you're hearing this, but hasn't happened when we're recording it, I'm hoping we get a release date for E-Day of this fall, but I don't know if that's going to be the case. But I'm hoping that is the case.
Yeah.
Tyler, we got to score this thing. I don't know. Fucking
2 out of
what
2.
do we?
Marcus and
two, uh,
Marcus and
two out
Dom,
of
2 out of
two.
2. 2
I
out of
was gonna
2.
say like, well, it
No,
doesn't. I'm gonna be. Thing is,
2 out of woo!
the thing is, like, I'm gonna be honest with everybody. Like, everyone's been on me to fucking. You better give this a perfect score. Like, I am. So I don't even care if it's 10 out of 10. If it's a 10, we're giving it a 10. Like, I'm giving it a perfect score. It's. You are as well, right? Like,
Oh, without question. Like
it's
as the
fantastic.
Gears games progress, I like them less from this point on. Like this was the peak for me. This is 10 out of
Yeah.
10. Gears 3 only cuz I hate endings. And so like
Okay.
Gears, like it's the same. Like Halo 2, I love it. Like so much better than Halo 3. I'm that guy. I just don't like endings. It breaks my heart a little bit. I want more. And then, like an ending of a trilogy, then they come out with the fourth one and it's like, "Pfft, this is nothing like the first 3. Like get out of
Yeah.
here."
Four
So,
four lost the plot a little bit. They
yeah.
brought it back somewhat in 5, but yeah, 3. I don't remember 3 being as like, I don't know. It's just like, when you haven't played a game in forever, but you just have like a memory in your mind of like, this game is fucking fantastic. Like
Yes.
that's how I felt
That's
about Gears 2. And
that's
then
that's
replaying it, I was like,
exactly
there
it.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just remember it
That
being mint. So
there's a moment in Gears 3 where like, oh yeah, hits in the feels. But like
yeah.
this had 2 moments like that. Like it just was, and it's like you were saying, it expands on the world. Whereas Gears 1, it's just like, yeah, there's mutants and we're fucking them up. Let's do it. We look like football players with chainsaws guns. Let's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
go. Right?
And I'll promise all of you, like Tyler and I will cover Gears 3. At some point it's
Yes.
coming. I promise it's coming. And I hear all of you asking for Halo 3. That's coming eventually as well, but
We haven't
fucking
talked about
just you
Halo
gotta
3, really?
no. But
Oh man.
people that I
I've been
hear all of you
dreaming
that are
about it.
asking, but
I've been dreaming about it.
you gotta just be patient. Okay. I can't
I'll
just put out on the first date. You gotta work
Uh,
for it. We gotta
I'll
wait.
cosplay as Cortana if you cosplay as Master Chief, and we'll record it
Deal.
like that. But fun fact, you don't do video recording, so
It's true.
the
For a good
audience will just
reason.
have to believe us.
I have a face for podcast. It's funny because I have a voice for text and a face for podcast. So I'm really not built for this.
Listen,
Perfect score.
it'll be perfect. You'll be in the Master Chief helmet, and I look
It's
good
true.
in purple and blue.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you can pull it off. Good man, good times. I appreciate you taking time in your Monday night to do this. You're a busy guy. You got other shit going on. So
Yeah.
before I hit end on this and go to bed, what's up? What's going on?
So I have a career at an industrial plant. I hate, it's very intense. I am farming, but then like something that the audience can go check out is I last summer, people will remember this. I was filming a movie with like a local film studio that has stuff that's on a bunch of the streaming services. So they're on like Amazon in the States, not in Canada, unfortunately. Apple TV, YouTube for rent and buy, and for like Bell on demand and Shaw on demand, and I think that's it for the streaming services for now. Their distributor, I think that's all they got lines on. But the movie I was in is called Contamination. It's kind of like a zombie apocalypse, but with like some sci-fi elements. So sci-fi action horror, I think, is the genre. Um, it was super cool experience, really exciting. They're just kind of doing the film festival circuits. So they just this one film festival, they won 2 awards in Best Picture and Best Actor. They're smaller film festivals. It's a smaller film, but it's like I don't know. Small budget films are like 50 million. This was like micro budget compared to that. But we're hitting above our weight class and getting a lot of accolades for it. And it should be out either next month or the month after. I've sent you a link to attach the trailer. Um, yeah, if people want to check it out, and like I don't know, it felt like a silly experience, but like a very exciting experience. So I don't know, it was fun,
Good for
neat
you,
to
man.
be part of.
Yeah, that's a fucking cool experience. Good for you. Well deserved. Tyler, buddy, I fucking it hurts my heart to fucking compliment you, but good man. And I keep telling you, I don't know what it is, but these people like you. So
They
I'm glad
they
you
have
deserve it.
good taste in video games and in co-hosts.
Yeah. Yeah. That's their tasted podcasts are touch or hit and miss, but yeah.
Yeah,
Proud of you, buddy. Good for you. Great talking with you. Thanks for taking almost an hour and a half out of your Monday night to do this, and we'll do it again. We'll do it again soon. Sounds good.
excellent.
Thanks, buddy. And that is going to do it for this week's episode. Tyler, thank you so much for giving me a call and talking Gears 2. And to every single one of you nerds listening to this, whether it was your first Remember the Game, your 336th, or some other random number, thank you. Thank you so much for the support. I know there's a lot of retro gaming shows out there, and we appreciate your business here at Remember the Game Industries. We really do. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate all of you. Leave us a good review if you didn't hate it. That would make me feel good. I read those when I'm in the shower. They make me feel nice. And, consider signing up for the Patreon. If you're like, Adam sounds like he could use a couple of bucks. I could. I'll take $3. And in exchange, I'll give you hundreds and hundreds of podcasts with new ones every week. Patreon.com/Remember the Game. Plus, Remember the Game is over there now and ad-free. The entire 336 episode catalog with new ones as they go up as well. I think that's it. Yeah, I think we're good. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to thank some patrons. I'm going to shut this thing down. Appreciate you all listening. Hope you're having a great June. Hope you enjoy your Switch 2s if you got one, because I'm away right now and haven't played mine yet, but I can't wait to play it when I get home. And don't worry, next week you will absolutely have any Remember the Game, because it's actually already done. I finished it before this one. It's already uploaded. I'm looking at it right now. Scheduled to go live next week. Episode 337. We are talking Mega Man X2, the sequel to one of my favorite games of all time, which I guess is kind of like what Gears of War 2 was. Sequel to one, yeah. Wow, a lot of sequel talk. Anyway, thank you some patrons. I'm leaving. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with Mega Man X2. Cheers, so long, goodbye. Remember the Game is brought to you by our Patreons. I could not puke up all the content I churn out every week without all of your support. The following people are at the senior executive vice president level or higher at patreon.com/Remember the Game, and as such, I'm contractually obligated to thank them. So a huge, huge thank you to Remember the Game Hall of... Oh, yeah, and I'm going newest to oldest as of May 25th. Remember the Game Hall of Famer, Slick Motherfucking Rick, Landon Turquoise, the okayest of Muffins, Frank Preeves, Profound, Spooky Dookie, Just James, Exotic Chaotic, Trooper Galactus, Devin Collins, Shane's World, Mikey Hag, Bot Fokker, Fancy Store-Bought Dirt, Game Boy Ganon, Jeff Leopard, Horrorostalgia, a podcast, Akiris Network, Jinxie425, Legendberry, Thunder Leaps, Topher Love, Doogie Bowser MD, Captain Asbury Juice, Flater Flav, Lord Salazar, Travis Sanders, MacGyver88, The Grim Patron, Savage Boosh, Super Cyan Safarioth, Dazerath, Wrecked Ralpy, Conebread, Ryan Stemmerding, Captain Steve N, Super Jess, VOS Rager, Wilco McCracken, Justin Blair, Diablo Spartan, Moncal, David Schroeder, Ganon's Magnum Dong, Generic Name 238, Darbles, Eric Hopewell, S, Spider Cat, Alex McIntyre, Scotty McGee, Toby OP, Nothing Could Possibly Go Wrong, Daddy Secret Little Chubby, Justin Tate, Ryan Whitcomb, Ida Yellow, Big Daddy Randall, Mr. Jabroni, Chaz Hammond, Putterton Age, Kevin Kellums, Cody Thompson, Fill Up My Mouth with Farts, Cesar Plow King, Too Much Karma, Matt Zeus, Bula, Blobbert Rogers, Brian Richmond, Sabin, Robbie Air, Jay Callahan, Adam Blank still hasn't reviewed Mario Galaxy, Shoeboxers, Mark Sneed, E-Man Trucker, you son of a bitch, why? Tell me why? E-Man, or the Supreme chose a Rizzo. I'm used to going the other way, so autopilot on some of these names I've been saying so long that I autopilot to the next one. You don't get. Where was I here? The Supreme chose a Rizzo, Fallen Snow Kiku, Penguin Milk, B Money, Chris Hill isn't scared. That could be anyone's ass. Carbon Fiber Zombie, Benjamin Atkins, Faded Sufferance, Alex Ramos, Sour Goatface, Max Sandin, Frosty Bear, Lucas Shaman, Roger Starbox, Pool Cleaner, Lord Longrod Von Hugendom II, Marcus Mendoza, Infinity Rage, Because 19, Beers of War, Lord Palmerston, Leroy Jenkins, Nordak, Pee Wee Squitters, Can't Destroy Her, Kevin Monroe, Ryan Donahue, The Big Deal, Adam Martinet, Nick Creature, Postman, Darth Skywalter, Bartman Forever, Zombie XE, Just Car Prank, Scotty J, please refrain from tasting the knob, Itchy Nutsuru, Alex R, Ryan Perry, Ted Explosion, Works For Me, AB Killin, Monstrous D Boner, Kia Pup, Brandon DeZeba, I'm sure Adam will play Bowser's Fury, T-Bear87, Tadpole, Big the Cat, Zamatos, Christopher Britt, Quiet Place Queen, Beef Dingleberry, My Left Nut, Timothy Sabrinsky, Graham Kennedy, Musty Beetle, Maverick Marty, Christian Gabriel, Wimp of Stupid Stooges, TTRPG, Timmy the Exuberant Turtle, Hits Meals, Isaiah, Squeak Nuts, Sleeper Hit, Nerdy Hybrid, Donnie the Dude Walter, Sam Carpenter, Drugs Are Bad, okay, Mr. Arkansas, John of the Adult Children Podcast, James Juan Francesco, Max Lagrum, I use small words to help Adam say it more good, General Fury, Cody Richardson, Oroku Saki's Gardner, Jimothy, High Plains Drifter, Hegel Waffle, Earl, I'm not gagging. I swear that wasn't me being like, that's probably what it sounded like. That wasn't my intention. I wanted to say, I knew I needed to stop and take a quick swallow here, but it was Jimothy, High Plains Drifter, Hegel Waffle, Earl, Archangel Otaku. And I just kind of got tongue-tied, and it turned into me sounding like I was gagging them. I'm sorry. I know that probably made a couple of you gag. I can't be around people throwing up, or else I'm going to throw up. Clifford Franklin. That was not my plan at all. Archangel Otaku, Storm Beagle, Scary Terry, Blaine the Hoagie Man, Wyatt the Surgeon Who's Not a Surgeon, Roe, a dude named Adam, Decoy Man, Fuzzy99, Gabe, Matt Babineau, Stud Still Smash, Rush's Dog Walker, Leroy Westrich, Thomas Smith, Beaver Boy, Growlywog, Laces Out Dad, Jake Carter, Joe the Sandman, Phil Lencher, Tyler, Juris, Dr. Mario, Mizuru, Dude Where's My Game, Standard Ass Brian, Steve Dulk, DBXJ, Madam Nutsich, It's That Nerd James, Elijah Burns, Chugger22, Triple Three, Captain Black Silver, Zach Shepard, Holmes, Tiffany, Heather, Cody, Dylan, Dermot, Jordan, Taylor, Brittany, Wesley, Rumor, Scout, Cassidy, Zoe, Chloe, Max, Hunter, Kendall, Caitlin, Noah, Sass, Just a Fish, Randy Barrage, John Woodruff, Daniel, Jeff Bergeron, Zonko 504, Titan 420, Dean Donian, Squints, Johnny from Virginia, Wolf Magic 21, Doogie, Andy Hudson, Wolfgang Darren, Mercury 869, G9 PSX, Mike Maloney, Ryan Kinchin, Zane Donovan, Morgan A-Town, JSK Fusick, Aaron Lawson, Scott Brooks, No One Cares, Dave Thompson, Angry Ticks, Little Buddy Fufu 89, Eldest Millennial, Jordan, Andrew Wright, Chris Fleury, Doug Dorn, Dan of Dissect That Film, Jort King Keegs, J Nasty 15, Sharonic, and Makeshift Mallow Magic Money. Outside of almost puking, which again, apologize, that wasn't intentional. I was in a bad batch of shoutouts. I can live with that. So yeah, so what have I got left? I'm looking at my board. I still have to record. So episode 337 I did a couple hours ago. You'll hear that next week. 336, we have to do the Gears 2 talk tonight, but the intro's done. I still have to do the rest of the Punch-Out episode, which you will have heard last week, but I haven't done yet. I'll finish that soon. I got to record an expansion pass where I rank the Mario Kart 8 tracks. We got to do GameCube games on the Switch 2. One more game patch and one more rambling idiot. Almost done. Fucking getting there. Appreciate all of you. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later. Bye.
This is Adam Phoenix. Is anyone out there? Can you hear me? This is Adam Phoenix. Can you hear me? What have you done?